Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is True Master Games. My name is Alex, and I have, as always, the honor of being your game master for the evening. As most of you have probably already figured out, we are playing the ZWEIHÄNDER role-playing game once again today for the potentially very last time, as we are drawing very close to the finishing line of our adventure, A Bitter Harvest, the introductionary adventure that you can find in the ZWEIHÄNDER role-playing game Core Rolebook. This is session 4, and it will most definitely be, one way or the other, the final session. For those of you who you're not quite sure what has happened so far, basically our player characters, this ragtag group of people looking for work, has been hired by a man called Rafke, a merchant, to escort his newly wedded daughter and her husband to a village where they are about to live. This husband is named Maximilian Steiger. After escorting the people there, they realized that the village is under threat of a mutant attack, an orc attack, and the orcs have already struck and killed basically a caravan that was traveling away from the village. After some very heavy talks in the village with many different characters, our players have realized that there was already a mutant attack on this village about 12 years ago, and back then they were scared off by Maximilian Steiger, who threatened them with basically the royal troops that were about to arrive. But the orcs took the women and female children of the village, who were hidden in a cave up on a hill. As they were retreating, they discovered them somehow and fled with them. However, recently, our characters have discovered on a scouting trip, basically, that this mutant band that is threatening the village and is camping in that very same cave where the women and children once were hiding is led by a woman, a human woman, that is, Johanna, Maximilian Steiger's supposedly dead wife. Johanna has told them that Maximilian has sold the women and children to the orcs to save his own skin, basically. Maximilian and a few other guys, of those, two are only left alive. So Maximilian himself and the owner of the inn in Vorberg, in the village, a man called Horst, who our player characters have already met. Now, Johanna said that there's two options as they were parlaying with her. Basically, the first option is either Maximilian and Horst are delivered to her in one way or the other, or when the next morning, the sun rises on the next morning, the mutant horde will attack the village and slaughter everyone. So one way or the other, there will be blood. It is up to our characters to decide how they want to play this and how much blood will be shed. And as we are jumping into the game, our player characters are just returning from their scouting trip. They have lost one of their members, Waldman, Maximilian's and Johanna's son, who was heavily injured by his own half-brother, a half-orc child of Johanna named Gregor, who attacked them without knowing who or what they were. Waldman and Gregor are both pretty severely injured, and they have been, kept by Johanna, the leader of the mutants, and by her daughter, Maximilian's daughter, Katerina, a fairly ferocious young woman who must have been raised up amongst the orcs. So our characters are now on the way back to Vorberg. It is about maybe mid-afternoon or so, and they are trudging through the forest. It will take them probably another hour or two to get back to the village, as they are left the Horned Monk, this hill rising up about half a day's journey from the village, behind them, which is where the encampment of the mutants is to be found. And that is where we are jumping into the game, as our player characters are walking through a forest, getting a bit exhausted. After all, they've been chasing half-orcs around the hillside, climbing up and down and such, and very recently have been surrounded by a whole horde of kobolds and orcs that weren't the nicest of hosts as such. Nonetheless, they made it out alive, and here we are. So take it away, guys.
Well, Wanda. I think your mic might be a bit hot, just out of character.
Sorry, mine?
No, true mask check.
Yeah, what about me?
No, is that True Mask?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, sorry.
Alex.
Yeah, pardon me. You changed your name. I'm going to have to quickly change my speakers. Pardon me.
So, what are we going to do, you think?
Well, I'm thinking we have to somehow convince Maximilian and Horst that we need a small party, a really small party, to get Waldman back to the village, to escort Waldman because he was heavily wounded and we couldn't get him further than the cabin. I think.
How are we going to convince Maximilian and Horst to go back to the without anyone else? I mean, the chances are he's going to send other people, though, isn't he?
As well, people, I think we're going to get a hostile reception when we get back because he has a lot to cover up. The main guy, Max.
Yeah, but
if we go there and
Waldman,
say you betrayed everybody, we can't tell them the truth.
No, absolutely not. We have to lure them out. So Waldman isn't with us. We're going to.
What happened to Waldman? Where is he?
Well, Klaus, we couldn't bring him. He was too wounded. If we would have brought him with us,
You left him on the hill? We need to go and get him back. He's hurt. The orcs, they'll eat him. They hurt him like they hurt my mom and dad.
We managed to bring him to the cabin, Tom's cabin. We managed to bring him there. He's safe there.
What? He seems confused. Tom's cabin? But that's like, he points towards the village, looking very confused.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem.
It's going to have to come time to shake this guy a bit and maybe slap him around and just tell him what to do because he's going to fight us every step. I'm a pretty small guy, though. I'm only like 110 pounds. So I'd suggest, does anybody here have intimidation or something?
What?
I'm quickly talking with...
Who you want to slap?
Yes.
We're talking metaphorically. Don't worry, Klaus. We're discussing a story we read.
Well, all right. But Waldman, we can't.
Waldman is safe. Don't worry. All we need to do is get a few more men, like Horst and Maximilian, the fiercest fighters of the village. If they come with us, we can escort Waldman back in safety. That's all we need to do.
Horst is very strong. He's a hero. He fought the orcs when they hurt my mom and dad. And Andre's he has a big sword. He can help.
Exactly. This is why we need these people again. We need Maximilian and Horst back again so they can scare off the orcs.
But if
we need those, then we can get back your friend.
I understand.
It has to be a few, just a few. If we go with like 10 or 20 people, we will be noticed and they will attack us straight away, you know?
We need to be sneaky, right?
Yeah. Just like you were sneaky when you followed us up the hill. Remember?
Good, wasn't I?
You were very good.
Very quiet.
And if we can do the same with just a few people, like Maximilian and Horst, because they are heroes and the best fighters in the village, then we will bring we will bring Waldman back in safety.
Yes.
That's what we need to do now. And in the meantime, Waldman is safe. He's too wounded to walk here or to ride here, but he's safe in the cabin. We brought him there.
Well, we can go to the cabin and get him. It's not far from. It's on the way.
No, we need to save. We need to save the other villages as well. The only way we can do that is by bringing Maximilian and Horst to scare off the orcs. Because as soon as they scare the orcs off, the rest of the village is also safe.
Yeah, like they did.
You don't want anybody else hurt, do you? Like your mother and your family. You don't want them hurt as well.
The orcs are bad. I won't let them hurt anyone else.
Exactly. So we need to scare the orcs away. That's our priority. If we can scare the orcs away, then we'll be able to safely take your friend back from Tom's cabin to the village. But we can't take him back there because if the orcs attack the village and Tom's injured, he'll have no chance to get hurt. So we need to get rid of the orcs, save the village, and then we can help Tom and bring him back. We can bring your friend back and save him.
All right. I'll go to the cabin and I'll I'll go take care of the Waldman. Is all right.
Go to the cabin. Go to the cabin and guard the door. Don't go inside because Waldman needs his sleep. He needs to rest. So if you go out to the cabin and wait outside and guard the door, make sure nobody goes into the cabin.
A guile check.
Okay. Let's find my guile first. Okay, that's not good. Right.
I'll give you a +20 because Klaus is not the sharpest arrow in the quiver.
Okay. Right. Okay, here we go. My guile is 62, so... Oh, yes.
31. Excellent. Success. Good. He looks at you for a few moments suspiciously, and then his face splits into this wide grin and says, okay, I understand. I'll see you there. I'll be good. And he sort of jumps into the bushes on the side and stalks away. He's moving surprisingly quietly for such a slow fella.
Mm-hmm.
Phew.
So the four of you are left behind in the forest.
I'm glad your way worked. Good job, bravo. I clap him on the back and laugh. It's like, oh man, I don't know what we were gonna do with that one.
Yeah, that could have been a right problem, couldn't it?
Yeah. Now I think we just need to work on Maximilian's vanity to somehow get him to join us.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be a case of convincing him or kidnapping him.
What is Godfrey doing while his three companions are discussing this, by the way? I mean, you haven't witnessed the orc horde from close by, but they have told you what happened. So what's your reaction to the whole thing?
I think kidnap might be easier. I don't know how much we're going to be able to convince them willingly to help us.
No.
We don't have any leverage on him, do we?
No, and I don't think Maximilian's one of those people that will... He's very much a person that gets other people to do his dirty work, I think.
Yeah, but you have to remember we have to get him out of the town. How are they going to open the gates? For example, if he's passed out on a horse?
Could we drug him?
I think drugging him and horse may be the best bet. But I think I'm not too sure how we're going to get him out the gates. Unless one of us pretends to be him. But that's going to be difficult.
And if we have a distraction.
Well,
have they got their own carriage that we can steal and pretend that we're taking him back to his father-in-law?
If somebody asks where we're taking him in the carriage.
Exactly, because if they see the carriage coming and we say, open the gates, Maximilian, whatever, blah, 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 coming through, they may not question it, may just open it.
Well, Astrid's looking a little flustered. Whatever it is, it's going to be a tricky plan. She's going to look around at this point take a little break and just do scout of the area real quick.
Okay.
Just see if everything's safe and good.
Okay. Are you sort of focusing more on the way ahead or the way behind?
Behind. I don't trust Klaus. I tell these guys I don't trust Klaus. I think he's either too stupid or too smart. There's something sneaky going on there.
Okay. Give me a awareness check.
Awareness check.
I also don't trust the orcs, to be honest. I think they probably followed us.
54. All right. Looking behind you, you keep an eye out for several minutes, but you don't seem to be followed. The forest is, except for the rustling of fallen leaves, this is autumn after all, and the branches moving in the wind, quiet, and a few crows somewhere off in the distance. But no, you don't seem to be followed from what you can tell.
Astrid's muttering to herself as she comes back, clearing kind of, and I don't know. I didn't see anything. You guys come up with anything yet?
No, not yet.
I still think the first plan should be to try and convince him. Maybe his love for his son is big enough to come with us. I don't know. The kidnap
The guy
should
who
be.
knows his wife and kids. The orcs.
Yeah, but
Well, we could convince him or trick him. That would be less violent and
it would be the easiest way. And then we have plan B to kidnap him as a failsafe.
Okay, let's say we try to convince him. What are we going to tell him?
Waldman's hurt. We don't have to lie about that. So Waldman's hurt. He couldn't make it farther back than Tom's cabin. We
So
need
just
to extract.
Tom's cabin is like 200, 300 yards away from the village. It's like the village, then there's fields all around. And then north of the village is where there's maybe 250, 300 yards is where the edge of the forest is. And that forest goes all the way to the hill, which is another couple hours away. That's the forest you're in at the moment. And Tom's hut, this cabin that you walk past is basically just as you enter the forest coming from the village. So it's only a couple hundred yards away from the village.
Yeah. Well, my idea is to say that Waldman succumbs to his wounds there. And that would be too dangerous to drag him with us because we would be an easy mark for the orcs. And if we had just a few more men, a few more strong men like Horst, then we could do that. We could rescue him.
But Maximilian won't go on his own. He'll send men to do it for him.
Yeah, but he has us. And if he takes his carriage, if he takes the carriage and we escort it, that would be a perfect way to.
Yeah, but I don't see why Maximilian would go. I don't understand why he'd go.
What if we told him the orcs want to renegotiate the deal? They need him.
He knows the deal. We can't do that.
No.
He knows the original.
No, but it's been 12 years. They're going to do it again. He has to come and sign the deal again with the orc representative, and only he can do it.
Well, one thing we could do, which may work, is basically call them out on it. Turn up at the village. There must be some way of gathering the village into the town square, like some sort of bell or something, and basically tell them what happened, tell them the truth, and basically get the village to kick them out. Because all of them lost children and wives.
Direct approach.
Never thought of that.
And to tell them that if they don't get rid of Maximilian and Horst, the village will be attacked by mutants and everyone will die. The only way to save the village is to do exactly what Maximilian did in the first place, was to get rid of Maximilian. and Horst. Kick them out of the village. Or
Yeah,
save yourselves, or you all die.
He'll pay for his crimes.
Yeah. Basically, call him out on it. Get the village to do the job for us.
That is a just way. The Great One would approve.
What's everybody else think?
Sounds better than trying to drug him and drag him out.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I don't even know if we have any sort of drugs besides alcohol, but
And even if it doesn't work, at least the village will know. And if that doesn't work, the village decide to keep him and protect him and take on the orcs, and we just walk away.
yep. With our wagons of stuff.
Of hemp and head back to the other village. Because quite frankly, if they're
And
not
his
willing-
daughter.
Yeah, if they're not willing to save themselves, then why
So
should
we
we
have-
be bothered?
We have to secure the daughter then too.
Well, we'll take her back with us. I'm sure she'll want to
Yeah.
join us.
We'll have to find her as well.
Yeah. We'll give her. We'll say, you know, if they all say no, we're keeping Maximilian, we'll fight the orcs, blah blah blah. We'll go. Okay, we're leaving. If anyone wants to leave with us, they can come now. I think that's what the only thing we can do is just basically say it as it is. Tell the village what happened, what went down, and let them decide. It's their fate after all. I mean, to be honest, we're not connected to any of this. We can just walk away.
You got a good point on that.
Yeah, survival comes to mind.
Nobody's paying us to do this. We've got no vested interest in this, apart from the fact that we felt we should.
Yeah. Basically, we can just walk away now.
We could, but I would like to give them the opportunity to save themselves. Everybody has that right. They need to know the truth, don't they? They have the right to know the truth and to make that decision.
How are we going to convince them?
We just tell them the truth.
It's our word against Maximilians, who they revere.
Well, we can tell them this is why there's a load of orcs at your door. We've come back to tell you this. If it wasn't true, then why would we come back and tell you? This is your chance to save yourselves, and it's your decision to make at this point.
Do we still have that talisman we took off the orc?
No, we gave them back.
Yes, you gave them back. Johanna wanted them back.
Darn. Do we have some sort of evidence that we were there with them?
Nope.
But we've joined. The thing is, at the point of it is, the thing we have got on our sides is that there's no reason for us to come back. Why would we come back to the village? Why would we even bother? Don't live in the village. We have no vested interest in the village. Nobody's paying us in the village. There's no reason for us to come back.
We need to get 3 wagons with hand out of the village, and 2.
They're outside the village anyway, aren't they? They're on the road.
So we have to come back. We couldn't just leave. And now we're going to come up with an excuse for them.
Even then, we don't have to come back to the village. We could just take the hemp and go. It's not his hemp. It's somebody else's. So there's nothing stopping us from taking that, and that's who we're employed by.
How can we take that? There's 4 of us. How can we take that and get it out of the village? It's impossible.
Because it's ours to take. It belongs to our employer.
They're not going to see it like that.
Well, they have to see it like that because that's the fact.
Do we have proof that we work for Master Franke?
Well, we agreed. We talked to Max and stuff. Remember? And he agreed to the premise of our. We told him flat out we were here to bring the wagons.
Yeah, you're right. We talked to Maximilian, the same person who we want to frame now. The only person who knows we work for somebody else is the person we're going to accuse.
Okay, well, the other option we've got is you go to the daughter and say, right, this is what's going to happen. You can either believe us or not. But if you want to, we'll take you back to your father. The orcs are going to attack tomorrow. We'll take you back to your father. After that point, you can do what you like. If you want to come back, you can come back, or you can stay with your father. But all you've got to do is stay away for 1 day and then decide. then our job is done. We didn't bring the hemp back, but we did bring the daughter back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we wouldn't have saved anyone.
It doesn't matter, does it? The point of
I
it
don't
is,
know. Will you sleep? Will you sleep as well as before, knowing that you didn't do an effort to save them?
well, the thing is, we've only got one of. We can only take one choice, can't we? We can either tell the village what happened and let them decide what they want to do with Maximilian Horst. We can try to kidnap Maximilian Horst, which will probably fail. We can't fight them because they'll have the whole village against us. Or we can get the daughter back to her father and save the daughter, at least, of the girl, the pregnant woman.
Or we use
Either way, our job at the moment is to get the hemp. That's all our job is.
Or we use a ruse to get Maximilian out of the village.
I don't think that's going to... well, unless you can come up with a ruse that involves him leaving that village on his own with Horst, rather than him sending men. I don't know if that's viable.
Yeah, I think that's going to be too hard.
The only one I could think of is if he had to personally talk to somebody or personally deal with the situation, then he would have to come out there. And that would mean saying you have to talk to the orcs or something. That would be a tough...
risk his life.
It would be a tough sell.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's strange.
Well, even if he leaves the village with 10 fighters, what does it matter? There's plenty more orcs. Even if he takes 10 other men with him, he's still out of the village.
He won't leave the village, I don't think.
Well, Wanda, you have some good ideas. We have to decide. I get up frustrated. Astrid and mutters to herself again and goes for a little quick walk around the perimeter for a quick look, quick patrol.
You are now approaching the sort of hut, old Tom's cabin, the hut that is maybe about 300-400 yards away from the village. So you're now approaching the edge of the forest. However, you have been walking most of the day, so you are slowly starting to get tired. It is now about maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon or so. So you have plenty of time in your dealings, I suppose, with Johanna, who did say that you have your ultimatum, so to speak, is until the next sunrise. Nonetheless, you will all give me general, resolve checks, please, to see how you are coping with the whole running and climbing and walking situation through the forest.
Resolve.
Yes. That is a fail on Darren. Astrid, I should say, or Ruprecht. Too many names.
Yep.
All right.
Depending on the immediate environment, yeah, I failed.
Okay. You're also failed.
Yeah. Everybody's failed.
It's a 1d0 that you rolled. You need to roll 1d100.
Oh, right. Sorry.
No worries. $15 is a success.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And Gotrek?
Oh, sorry, I thought you heard me. I succeeded.
Okay. So, which means that Garrett and Ruprecht, you take 16 points of peril.
Shit.
I do have a trait.
Yes, you do.
It's called Dauntless.
That lets you ignore the first level, right? Or something like that, the first level of peril?
Yeah, I'm just checking quickly. It's determination. Okay, that one's different. Pardon me. Impervious mind. Yeah, when you suffer mental peril, that's mental peril, right?
Yeah, this is not mental peril. No, this is physical peril. It does not help you with that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, okay, so that was for mental peril. Okay, note taken. Okay, so we took how much? 14 or?
What did I say? 15? I think
16.
16. Okay.
That's right. I rolled 2 8s. Yes. So 16 points. So what is your peril threshold in general?
7.
What's 7? Okay. So your second peril threshold is 13 then?
Yep.
Okay. So which means that you go down 2 levels on the peril condition check.
Oh, roger that.
And I think I must
And
go
I'm
down
guessing.
3.
Sorry?
I go down 3, I think.
What's your peril threshold?
6.
6.
There's
So the next one
willpower.
would be
Hold on.
12
It's
and
will
18. No,
plus
you would not
3.
go down 2. Yeah, you would go down 2 as well. Not quite 3. For you, it's very close, but you also go down 2.
Right.
So you are, I don't know if you had any peril before this.
No, I didn't know.
Okay, so you're both imperiled. Actually, no, you are both, you both ignore 1 skill rank now. So you are both exhausted after the march and the whole talking and everything, and you're feeling the pressure of the weight of the fate of the village on your shoulders, both of you, not quite able to shake it off. And in fact, Garrett, you also feel kind of a bit of a stomach ache coming up that's been building up for the last maybe hour or so. So you both feel, as I said, tired. Now, what this means, this is quite serious now for both of you. This means for any skill check that you make, you have to ignore the first what's it called? Skill rank. I don't think you have any more than 1 skill rank in anything.
Right.
So you will have to roll on your basic stat for pretty much every skill now.
I've got 1 in. I've got 2 in martial ranged.
Oh, okay. In that case, you only ignore 1 of those, so you can still apply 1.
Yeah.
If it comes to a shootout. But yeah, you are both, as I said, both feeling the pressure.
Yeah, I'm using the character sheet on Roll20, so I think that probably takes that into account now. Then.
I don't think so, but maybe. Not
I'll have a
sure.
look. You ever find out? Let me just see what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Might.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It takes it into account.
So your simple melee would be 58 usually.
Yeah, my simple melee would be 58.
Okay, yeah. In that case,
But
it
it's
does.
ignored.
Excellent.
We've gone to 48. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good to know. Anyway, so you're now approaching the end of your journey. I mean, you can stop obviously at any time and talk it over some more, but you only have what you gather maybe about 10 minutes left until you reach the edge of the village and Tom's hut, where you might or might not find Klaus.
Okay, guys, I think it's clear. None of us can do any of the options on their own. We need each other to, well, to fulfill whatever option we choose. So I say we put this to a vote.
Okay, so what are the options? What options are we voting for then?
Lure him out,
Truth.
kidnap him, try and talk to the villagers, or leave.
Talk to the villagers, try to kidnap him, or try to trick him. 3 options.
Yeah, I don't think just leaving isn't an option for anyone.
I wouldn't put it off the table. I think it is an option. And in some ways, it's the most desirable option.
Just buggering off?
Yeah, just buggering off. Leave them to their own devices. It's their problem. Let's grab the head.
Leaving the whole place? No,
I
okay.
think it's a valid option if we try to do one of the other ones and it's not going anywhere.
Let's go find a tavern somewhere and wait it out.
Fight
Go back and
off.
get a head next morning.
Okay, well, who's for what?
I say we just tell the villagers the truth. Let them put their fate in their hands.
That's a good idea. I like that one.
It looks like we're playing with your cat at the moment because all I can see is your cat head. And you're talking and all I can see is your cat. It's quite cool though because we've got 2 black cats as well, so it's like we've got, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Well, I still think we should trick him, but there's already 2 against me.
Well, it's just the fact is that we haven't come up with a satisfying trick. I think that's the problem. If we can find a way of tricking him that we think is actually going to work, then I'm all for tricking him, but I don't think it's that simple.
And if he calls your bluff, or if you're screwed.
Yeah, but talking to the villagers is going to take just the same kind of. We don't have anything to reason with them either. But Garrett, I think you are going to have to decide. What's your choice? Gotrek and Ruprecht were clear that they want to talk to the villagers, so
I think I'm torn between calling the villagers all together in the square and telling them exactly what went on and what's happened, and telling them the truth. If any of the other women and children are still alive, all we've seen is the mother and the daughter of Maximilian. The other women and the other children that were taken could also be alive somewhere. And if there's that opportunity, if there's that chance, but then again, will the villagers want to be reunited with their lost wives and children, because most of them are now remarried? That's going to cause an awful lot of problems, isn't it? I mean, you know, if I was a divorce lawyer, this would be perfect. But, you know, in a sense where this could cause more problems, you know, for them, and they may not want them, you know.
Well, I don't think they will want them. They were only women, you know. If they had to sacrifice their sons, that would be a big difference. It's still a man's world. We aren't valued as much, I think. So I don't know. I
That's
don't.
How they're going to react. A large part of me thinks we go in there, we go to Maximilian and say, look, we've come to get the hemp. Him to give us the hemp, us to get in the wagons and ride them back to what you call it. Talk to a daughter and say, look, this is the situation. You can come with us or you can stay. It's your choice. Take the daughter back, take the hemp back, get paid, get drunk, and live another day.
He's not going to let his wife leave. Are you kidding? He's going to let some strangers take his wife back to the other town. Max is going to go, I don't think so. We're going to have to kidnap her if we want to take her. She doesn't have a choice. She's the wife.
She's not around. She may even use her handmaid, her friend, as a way of getting to her.
Oh, if you want to sneak her out, that's a different story, because he's not going to let her go. It's the same problem with convincing him to come outside the town. He's not going to do it. He's not going to let his wife go, frankly. And the hemp. He's going to say, look, you got the hemp. You're not taking the wife. The deal's a deal.
The wife is separate from the husband a lot of the time. So he's off doing his manly stuff, and she's going to be with her handmaids and her friend. So getting her away from him won't be that hard, I don't think, because he won't even notice she's gone.
Oh, yeah, and that is a very tricky thing to do, to get, even if she's willing to come with us. That's considering she's willing to leave her husband and sneak out of town, which I doubt she will be. To sneak her out of town, you know, to get through the gate. Oh, we're taking Max's wife for a walk. You know, it's a. That's a tough one. That's got a lot of problems with it too.
I don't know, from my years working at the fair, I know I have better way with people of standing than with people with the common people. I don't know, somehow I seem to be more convincing to the higher classes. So I would have a better shot at either convincing his wife or Maximilian himself than I would with the villagers, I think. They just see me as, I don't know, just a woman. But it's clear that you guys, my option is clearly not favored. So We're not talking to Maximilian. We're not trying to trick him.
If you have if you got a plan, what would you tell him?
The only thing I could think of is that a son, and certainly a firstborn son, is much more important than a woman or children. Like if we would say to the villagers, oh, we can bring you back your daughters and your wives, nobody's going to care. If we can bring them back their sons, that would be a big difference.
Well, I think we should vote on it then, like we originally decided. And
We don't have much time to keep standing around like trying to discuss this.
exactly.
What time of day is it now, actually?
It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so you have about maybe 2 hours of daylight left.
And then we've got all night, and then till the next morning, sunrise.
Yeah, the sunrise is about maybe 6:30 in the morning or so, 6:30, 7 in the morning. So there's still quite a bit of time.
No, it only take us, what, an hour tops to get from the village to Tom's cabin?
No, not even. Like 10, 15 minutes, maybe. It's not very far. You just walk out the gate, you walk around the village, basically, and cross a couple of fields. As I said, from the north edge of the village, it's only maybe about 300 yards or so, 350 yards. It's not far.
So we've got a bit of time, haven't we? So I think maybe what we could do...
I mean, this discussion has only been going for like 15, 20 minutes so far. You've only been standing there. So time is not so pressing as such.
No. So basically what we could do, we could get back into the village, go to the inn, maybe talk to a couple of people about, engage whether they would want their families back. And if they don't seem too bothered, then maybe that would be off the table. But if they do, if a few of them say that, you know, they would do anything to get their family back and blah, 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 then maybe we'd have maybe that could be an option to actually call him out. But we have got a bit of time to basically see how the land lies. I mean, we can look at the village in a completely different way now as well, because obviously we didn't have these options when we first got there, so we weren't looking for certain things. But now maybe we can look for a way out beyond the gate, you know, maybe a back entrance that nobody knows about, or a way of smuggling somebody out of here, or how easy it is to access the girl, you know, his wife, if we do want to get her out on her own. How the land lies. That way we'll have a lot more idea about what we can and can't do, I guess.
Okay, let's go scout it out first, so to speak. You mean go feel the waters?
Yeah.
All right, because maybe the villagers are really angry and upset with Max, don't like him. Then that really would favor that option.
The impression that you got from talking to some of the villagers is that most people seem to respect Maximilian quite a lot. I mean, he's the sort of richest man in town, and the basically the I don't know, like the employer, I guess, for quite not an insignificant portion of the village.
But doesn't a lot of that respect also come from the fact that they all believe he saved him?
Possibly, yeah.
Which is actually a lie. So we could actually say, look, he did save you, but he did it by selling off your family. And however much it may be a man's world or not, there's still daughters, aren't there?
Well, I think your ideas. Well, you've got me convinced there. We can try that. Try and talk to some villagers first. Let's try and test the water, see how deep it is, and yeah.
Yeah, sort of gauge it, because we're basically speculating on all of this, aren't we? A lot of the factors rely upon things we're not too sure about, and I think we can now look at the village differently and gauge our option's a bit better.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Okay. All right.
I agree. And I'm really
let's do it
tired
then.
and getting quite cranky. My character's starting to yawning and stuff.
Do a tavern.
Yeah.
Beer.
All right. So you guys set out to cross the final part of the forest, and you come upon this cabin that you've walked past already once. And you can see the cabin seems unchanged, not damaged. But as you do approach, you can see Klaus with his sort of this little wood chopping axe that he was carrying in hand, which is still, by the way, encrusted with some dried blood. As after all, he did smack the axe several times into Gregor's leg. And he's just like standing outside, and he looks like he's standing guard, basically, at the door of the cabin and such. And he looks at you as you approach, and he gives you a grin and like does this.
Well done, Klaus. I whisper. Nobody's been here? It's been quiet.
Yes, everything's fine. Waldman is sleeping. I think he's not been making any noise, and no one's been here. I think the village still fine. I think.
Good. He needs sleep. That's how he heals.
So I'm gonna go check on him, okay? And I quietly and I ask these guys, check around outside, take a look.
Right. Just a quick, James. You seem to be having an echo now all of a sudden. I'm not sure what you changed, but everything's like I can hear everything coming from your microphone.
I've not changed anything.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we'll go away after a while. But you might want to just mute your microphone when you're not talking so we don't hear the echo constantly. Thanks. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I was going to go into the cottage carefully and listen before, see if he might be awake or something. Is there any sounds?
Give me an eavesdrop check.
Oh, shit. Okay, now I'm perilled, so I'm -10.
No, it is not -10 unless you have a level of on eavesdrop.
Okay, or +10 because I don't. Right?
No, so if you don't have a level on eavesdrop, then you're just rolling against straight up against your perception.
Okay. I rolled a 58, but I am perilled.
Everything's quiet in there. Well, the peril only affects you if you have a level in a skill. Any skill that does not have a level is not directly affected by the level of peril that you have at the moment. Anyway, the hut from the inside, from what you can hear, seems to be quiet. Oh, okay. So Klaus is sort of looking around and says, "So we're getting him back to the village then?"
No, Klaus, he still can't travel. You have to stay here, outside of the cabin. Wait.
Okay, you'll come back before night though, will you?
We will come back as soon as possible, I promise.
I don't want to spend the night out. There's orcs and other stuff here, I think.
I promise we will come and get you, Klaus.
I see. Oh, thank you. I'll be here.
Thank you. You're a very brave man. We best make come to the village.
Okay, I'll be here.
We'll be back shortly, don't worry.
Okay, so you continue onwards towards the village?
Yes.
All right. The hut's basically just inside the forest. It's only about maybe 20, 30 yards of forest between the edge of the fields or the edge of the forest and the hut itself. So you walk past Klaus, sort of gives you a nod, and then stands there with his axe clutching, doing his best to appear dangerous and alert. And you step out into the fields, and you can see the north side of the village ahead of you now, about 300 yards away or so. Smoke is rising from chimneys, and you can see even at this distance, there's like a couple figures walking around on the palisade. Villagers, probably, from what you can tell.
Who wants to be the spokesperson here? I'm pretty small and look like a boy almost. Piping voice bit.
I'm good at maybe scaring people into doing stuff, but I'm not a very good face.
Right. Garrett?
Well, we're just going to be talking to people in bars, aren't we? So
Okay. But I mean,
we
even
can
to
buy
the...
some rounds and buy some drinks for people and ask them questions, and we've got to do it without seeming like we're sort of say, do you miss your family? And so, I mean, the very fact that there's an altar in the church covered in tokens of the missing people sort of indicates that there is a little bit of regret there, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a point there.
Yeah.
And maybe the church would be a good place to do the gathering in front of, with all of them tokens to remind people what they lost.
Sounds good.
So it must be, there'd be a way to call the village.
Would there maybe be something like an evening mass?
Well, I'm guessing there'd be some kind of a village bell for emergencies to call everybody into a kind of a central building or a place where, in case of attack and that sort of stuff, people generally, they tend to be a kind of a warning bell, doesn't it?
You did see a bell on the outside wall of the inn that you're staying in, just not far from the entrance of the inn.
Right. Maybe that's what we need to do, is basically to ring the bell, let everybody be. Sorry, my mute button keeps turning stuff on. We need to talk to the people rather than Maximilian and Horst. We just need to talk to the average person, really, and let them know the facts. I think telling people honesty is the best policy in this. We need to tell people what their options are. If they believe us, they believe us. If they don't, then there's nothing we can do about it. We can't force them.
But
we have to give them the option.
If we're going to make accusations like these, they aren't going to like it.
Yeah, but the point is, if we tell them the facts and we say this is the situation, this is what they want, and we don't give it to them, the orcs will attack. And if they don't agree with us, then the next morning the orcs will turn up outside their gates. And at that point, then they can make the decision to give them Maximilian Horst. Just throw them out the gates.
True.
Here you go. Here are the people. Go away. Leave us alone. I just think we need to give them a choice. We can't.
Yeah, keep it simple. We can't get too complex, or we'll. That's a good idea, though.
I think telling the truth, just tell them, look, this is the situation. That's who they want. This is what happened.
Should we
It's
contact?
now up to you to decide what you want to do.
Oh, sorry. James, do you mind just logging real quick? Maybe that will fix the echo issue, because I can hardly understand the other people talking because I can hear.
Okay, right. I'll log off and log in again. Hold on.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Yeah, sometimes happens with Google Hangouts. Hopefully that will fix it.
Yeah, seems better now.
Well, he's offline for now, so he just left the Hangout. There we go. Let's see.
Is that better?
I cannot hear myself double, so that's great. Yeah, excellent. That fixed it. Excellent. Okay. Easy fix enough. Easy enough fix. Okay. Sorry, so continue.
Yeah, so basically I think at the end of the day, right, we've got no real vested interest in this. This is not our home. This is not our fight, really. We've just been kind of dragged into it. So I think it's up to the very people who are going to suffer to make the decision about how they suffer, right? They could either hand over Maximilian Horst to these people, and that will be the end of it, or they can ignore us, not believe us, and face the consequences of that decision. That's their choice. It's not a choice we can make for them. They have to make that choice. And if they're that loyal to him, if we get caught trying to sneak him out or kidnap him, we're going to get the brunt of that. Because in a way, that shows to them, by being dishonest about it, by kidnapping him, why would they believe us anymore? I think the best thing we do is either be honest or walk away. I can't see any other options, really. I think the village needs to make this decision for themselves.
I think you're absolutely right. That's wise.
Shall we go?
And if they decide not to agree with this, if they decide to ignore us, then we can just walk away.
And yeah, and we're not like peacemakers or something. As we're not here to impose our judgment on this town.
Right, exactly.
Yes, let's do that. So let's head in and assemble as many people as we can and tell them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
All right, so while you're talking, you are walking around the village to get to the gate, which is sort of on the southern side. And you can see the guards on the gates, on the palace, they've definitely seen you. And a couple of them are calling back into the village to probably report that you have returned. So as you reach the south side of the gate's already opening, and you can see a small group of men, very nervous-looking farmers clutching spears and other simple weapons, led by a man you recognize, Jürgen, one of the of Andre's mercenaries, the man who is actually not wearing armor at the moment because he has lent his armor to Wanda. But he is holding a sword in his hand, and he sort of gestures you to come in quickly through the gate.
Okay.
As soon as you rush in, the gate closes behind you, and Jürgen gives you a look and says, "And what did you find out? Wait a minute. Where's Waldman?"
We'll explain everything. We need everybody in the church. We need to talk to everyone at once. We'll explain everything once everybody gets there, but we're not going to discuss it with you. We're not going to discuss it twice. We'll discuss it if we get everybody into the church.
Wait a minute. What's going on? I thought you were meant to...
As I said, we'll discuss it if we get into the church. And I'm going to head towards the church.
And so you just push past him?
Yeah.
Lean close to him. He said, "Get people to the church now," trying to intimidate him.
Okay. So you sort of, yeah. Okay, give me an intimidation check.
I failed.
Okay, so Gotrek, you step in close to him and sort of snarl at him, but he stands his ground and says, "What? By all the demons, what's going on? I demand to know what's going on." And you can see Andre is coming, running up down coming from the center of the village. He's running towards you fairly fast, and he stops as he sees you, looks around as if he's looking for someone, and his face goes pale. And he says, "You're back, but where is Waldman? Is he not with you?"
I go, "We will discuss it in the church. Like we've told Jürgen, we need everybody in the church. At this point, we'll tell you everything that happened. Until then, we're doing it. You can't demand anything from us unless you give us some gold. There's no gold passwords. You don't owe us. We don't owe you anything."
What?
You come
He's talking about gold. I was asking about Waldman. What are you talking about?
Everybody together in the church. And I'm going to keep walking towards the church.
He grabs you by the arms. Did anything happen to Waldman? What is going on? Tell me.
I'm basically trying to pull my arm away and carry on walking.
He won't let you. Give me a strength. That would be a athletics check. His grip is very, very. You can see there's quite a lot of fear in his gaze. Even though Andre so far has struck as a fairly competent, cool-headed person, all of a sudden he seems close to panicking as you rip your hand out of his grip, though, and sort of push him away. And he turns. He sort of stumbles after you for a moment, but then he turns to the rest of you, ignoring Garrett, who's now moving towards the square, the village square, and he says, "Tell me, please, what happened to Waldman? I need to know."
Waldman lives. That's all you need to know for now.
He's alive? Well,
he's alive.
That is good.
He's in a safe place, but we have an important thing to say. You will want to hear it as well.
Is he hurt?
He's doing fine. He's stable. He has a wound that we've dealt with.
Oh, good. Good. That is good to hear. Well, we need to go get him then. If he's somewhere close.
He's in a safe place.
Jürgen, in the meantime, who's looking kind of angry now that you've just rushed past him and tried to basically intimidate him, steps up to you, Wanda, and says, "Sorry, miss, but I would like my armor back. It looks like shit's about to go down." Wanda? You're muted. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, Wanda just tries to go along with the rest, and I don't want to try to ignore Maximilian. And
oh no, this is Jürgen. This is Andre's one of Andre's mercenaries, the one that gave you the armor. He's
well, we're heading to the church now. We have an important message for the whole village. I will strip out of your armor as soon as we're there and hand it back to you. You understand? I can't do it here.
Give me a charm check. I'll give you a +10.
Okay. What?
4. Okay, excellent. He hesitates for a moment and says, I suppose that's true. I can't expect you to strip down here in front of everyone. All right, then. Well, let's see what is about this message.
Yeah, and thank you very much for loaning me this armor.
Well, that's fine. I can't let you walk out there protected, right? If we're looking to gather the whole village, especially quickly, your best bet is to use the bell that's on the inn.
Oh, thank you. We will certainly do that, because it's very important that we talk to everyone. Make sure you're there as well.
Well, someone has to guide the palisade. We can't just gather everyone in the center. Andre, Jürgen, you will stay here with a few men, and we will gather everyone. It will not take long, yes? He looks at you.
No.
Good.
No, it's rather... It will only take a few minutes.
In that case, I think we can spare most of the people. Jürgen, you stay here, take 2 or 3 men and guide the gate. And keep an eye out towards the forest. Yes, of course, boss. No, I can do that. You stay with me. The rest, go to the square. Looks like there's about to be a gathering. A couple of the farmers sort of nod, giving you curious and slightly fearful looks. And then all start moving towards the central square. And as you can see, people sort of walking, looking out of their windows, stepping out of their gates as you're passing and shouting out questions. And the people with you and Andres just like basically gesturing them to come along. And Andres says, assemble everyone at the square. As the sort of message is spread slowly, he turns to you, and the 3 of you, that is, because Garrett's already run off and he's already at the center, basically. And he says, I hope you know what you're doing. Not sure what this news is, but I hope it is good news. The people here have been more and more nervous, and now if they see that Waldman is not here, they will be even more nervous.
There's good news and there's bad news, so they say.
suppose that's not surprising. Oh well. Do you want Maximilian to be there as well? I suppose I should go get him. I'll be right back. And he walks off towards Maximilian's house as you are now reaching the village square. So, Garrett, you're up ahead a bit. So you reach the village square maybe about a minute or so ahead of the rest. Is there anything you'd like to do until the group catches up with you?
Do I remember if the pulpit, the thing that was in the church, which had all the trinkets on that were kind of remembrances to the families that were lost?
Yeah.
Can I remember if that was actually attached to the floor? Is that something I could lift up and carry out?
The trinkets were on the altar itself.
Right. So thing is stone and attached to the floor.
Yeah, the altar is pretty heavy. You can't lift that out.
Right. Okay. Then I'm gonna need to open up the church and get everybody gathered in there because we need to have them remembering.
All right. Well, the church would not. So the temple of the God Emperor would not take everyone in the village. Would only take maybe about half the people. This village has maybe a population of about 120, 130 people. And the temple only has space for about 50 or 60 people. So it would be about maybe half the people would be enough. Like maybe.
Well, if the doors are opened, people, but the news we passed on, wouldn't it? It was something that was
true. Yeah, that's true. That's the temple is built straight on the square, and the square has more than enough space for everyone.
Right. Then I think I need to position myself inside the temple next to the altar.
So as you walk to the temple and open the door, you can see there's only one person inside the temple at the moment, the priest, Wilhelm Treumann, that you have met before. He's sitting on one of the benches, and he's holding some sort of flask in his hand. And he looks up. He gives you a guilty look and puts the flask away, and then stumbles up and sort of wipes his nose and says, you're back. What news?
I go, you need to sober up, priest. Your congregation's about to arrive.
What? What do you mean?
You hang around and watch. We have some important news, and we're going to need your help with this.
What, of course. What do you need me to do?
I need you to remind the people about their gods and their responsibilities and their loved ones.
He gives a quick glance back at the altar and says, I'm not sure I understand.
You will.
So you want to gather people?
I need you to be strong.
I mean, yes, if you want to gather people here, I don't mind at all. I could speak a few words if you want once they're all here, but I'm not sure what good that will do.
I think afterwards, after I've said what I need to say, then I think it will help a lot of people to discover a right course of action.
All right. He gives you a kind of suspicious look. What is this about?
I'll clap him on the shoulder. And I'll say, trust in your gods, priest.
I do, but I believe that the God Emperor wishes to punish us all for our sins. The gods, they are not always kind to those who do not deserve it. I certainly don't, and I'm not sure most of the village does either. You see?
The gods help those who help themselves.
And you can see his hands are sort of shaking a bit, and he does reach for his flask and turns away from you and just takes a few gulps, puts it away again. I'm not sure I understand, but I'll be there here, I suppose. With another suspicious glance to your way, he makes his way up to the altar and sort of stands there, his arms crossed, looking kind of afraid and confused a bit. Very pale, just a little red in the nose. And in the meantime, the rest of you guys has arrived, and you can see that the gates of the temple standing open, and looking inside the temple, you can see that down the aisle, basically, there's well, your companion Garrett standing there, seemingly talking to the priest Wilhelm. Behind you, the first group of people starts arriving, and they're sort of starting to split off as each of them sort of goes to get a couple more. You reckon it will take about 10 minutes or so, probably 15 minutes until most of the village is gathered. So you have a little bit of time, but not that much, as people are arriving and looking confused and fearful, and also obviously interested in what you have to say. A couple of you are shouting like, "Where's Waldman? Is he with you? What happened?" And questions like that.
Well, wait until everyone is here.
Okay, yeah, you can, like, I suppose, get the people to wait for a few minutes, yeah, by saying things like that.
Do we see Helena?
No, you do not. You do not see anyone of Maximilian's household yet. Andre went to get them, or at least Maximilian. You're not sure if Helena, who is heavily pregnant after all, will show up, but most of the village probably will.
I also keep an eye out for Barbara.
Okay. So you're just standing in front of the temple, basically, all of you?
Yeah, I'm scouting, watching for Maximilian or Barbara or Helena specifically.
Okay.
Or Heinrich. Did we talk with him yet?
Heinrich is dead. If you see him,
Right. Okay.
that would be disconcerting.
That would,
Horst is a person we need to have to
Horst,
the innkeeper.
the innkeeper. Yeah, he's one of the first to arrive because the inn is at the on the central square as well. So him and his wife arrive fairly soon. He's here, but he doesn't. I mean, he looks a little afraid, but he actually doesn't look quite as afraid as the rest of the village or most of the rest of the men. He does seem to be looking around and looking for someone or something as he's scanning the crowd. But other than that, you don't see any other expression in his face as such. His wife, the young Liselotte, is sort of holding on to his side, looking for strength, obviously, or protection or something. But he is mostly ignoring her, just like patting her on the head a bit every now and then. Okay, so we'll have a quick break here before we jump into this maybe final scene, or maybe not, we'll see, of the adventure. So we'll have a 3-minute break, guys, so everyone can grab some water and go to the bathroom if they need, and we can finish it after this. All right, so I'll see you guys in a moment. This is going to be good.
I'm back.
Good.
Okay, I'm back.
Excellent. 2 out of 4. Just waiting for Brandon and Darren to show back up. And then things are about to get very interesting.
Give me like 1 minute, heating up some coffee.
All right. Here we go. Darren's back as well.
All right.
Brandon, you here?
Yep, I'm back.
Excellent. Okay. So let's jump back in. And just one last reminder, guys. Be aware you still have 5 fortune points. You have not used any fortune points today yet. I will not remind you again. Just saying. Now, as you're standing there, Garrett, you're inside the temple, right? The other 3 are at the gate, more or less. Is that what I'm understanding correct?
Yeah. I'm in the temple, yeah, the altar.
I'm going to approach the priest and Garrett, right?
Okay. Okay. So you're also stepping into the temple? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other 2 stay at the gate outside?
Well, I think we best all get together for this. So, what do you think? We head to the others as well?
Kotrek?
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. All right, so how many people are most of the city in the area now?
So about maybe 40 or 50 people have gathered so far, and more are coming every minute.
I look to the others. All right, who's going to be the one to speak up to them?
Right, only Wanda is standing next to you at the moment. The other two have stepped into the temple. So you can't.
Oh, they went in, oh, sorry. Okay. I'll start herding. Like if the temple's still like there's room. I'm gonna herd people into that area as well if I can.
Okay. Yeah. The temple is empty so far. So you're starting to sort of like do this, usher people into the temple.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so I go find the rest. Head up to the altar.
Okay.
Yeah, tickets are a silver piece each.
Sorry, what's that?
Said tickets are a silver piece each.
Okay. Yeah, this will be a good show for sure.
Do I see the priest? Can I see that is he inebriated, like he's wobbling and stuff?
I mean, he's not super drunk, but he's had definitely had something to drink. Yeah, you reckon that he's fairly used to the stuff by now, so he's never really sober as such. But he's standing more or less straight without wobbling too much. Like clutching, holding himself up by just hugging himself tightly, sort of standing next to the altar. Every now and then casting quick glances towards the dusty trinkets that lie on the altar, remnants of the people that were taken.
And my faith and his faith had a loose connection. Remember when I came in here earlier? The church here was sort of the areas.
I mean, there's several gods, but the god emperor is the most prominent of the gods in this area. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, shall I do the talking? What do you think?
I don't know what I was going to say, but you're talking to one.
I was thinking of just telling what happened, how we risked our lives going up that hill.
I don't.
What happened when Waldman was attacked, and what we found out after that.
I think we need to approach this in a way that hits them in their memory and loyalty.
All three of you give me a scrutinize check, please.
Like another success.
You have a success, Wanda?
Yep.
Okay. And Garrett as well. So both Garrett and Wanda, you notice that Wilhelm, the priest, is sort of trying not to look in your direction. You're standing like a couple yards away and talking quietly, but you get the feeling that he is listening very intently, and he seems to be hearing most of what you're saying anyway. He seems like intently focused in your direction, even though he's not like looking straight at you.
And I whisper to Garrett, I say, remember, that's Max's brother, is it not?
No. This is Heinrich's brother. Heinrich was the man who you found as in Scarecrow. And also one of the men who sold the village out, the women and children out. Heinrich was one of the 5 men.
Yeah,
Right.
he was. Yeah, I think we need to approach these people's need for justice and their. I don't think we need to tell them everything that happened. It's up to you. I mean, it's if you want to do speaking, then you can do the speaking, but I don't think we need to go into too much detail about the whole situation.
What would you say? How would you?
These people are going to be. These are simple folk. They only understand certain things, and I think they don't need to. We need to approach them on the level of what they understand, what they lost, where they are.
So many years ago, a terrible thing happened. You all lost people you loved.
Yeah, I mean, it's approaching it on a level that guilts them into doing something, basically.
Yeah, but they aren't guilty of anything.
Well, they are, aren't they? They're guilty of believing someone and letting that person convince them to the point where they didn't bother after that. What we need to do is make them feel guilty about the fact that they were so easy to believe what they were told, and get them angry.
That is going. I have no idea how to do that.
Well, I'm happy to give it a go. I think I need to be blunt. We need to be blunt with them, to be honest. If people are happy for me to speak to them, I'll speak to them. But I think we need to be just a drop to the point.
In the meantime, most of the temple has been filled with people who look eager your way, and there's also people like standing outside the temple. The double gates are wide open, and there's like a few dozen faces outside. You think by now at least about 80 or 90, maybe about 80 or 90 people have gathered. So good, maybe 3/4 of the village or so. You do also see in fact, Gotrek, because you're standing still sort of at the gate. You see two things that strike you as noticeable. First thing is there's a group of men that you have not seen in the village before. They are fairly dressed in very, very simple clothing, but their clothing looks different from the one of the villagers. They have more like fur and leather. They look like outdoorsy type of people, I suppose. And also the way that they have these bushy beards and the long stringy hair, they look like they're not from here, basically. And they're standing further at the back and mostly ignored by the rest of the villagers. And you can also see Andre, Maximilian, the two other sellswords, Marcus and Udo, Andre's other two, and Maximilian's sister, Beate, the older woman, who's looking very sort of arrogant and kind of angry and whispering in Maximilian's ear as they're walking. And also Barbara, the handmaiden or friend or whatever you want to call her, of the bride of Helena, who you have sworn to bring back to her father if anything goes amiss. They're all sort of coming as a procession and pushing their way towards through the back of the people towards the temple now. They will be there very soon.
Is Maximilian interacting at all with the outdoorsmen?
No, he just walks past them. He gives them a quick glance, but they mostly ignore each other.
All right,
a couple of them sort of nod his way, but that's all.
All right, I'll head inside and I'll let the others know. So I approach, like, Maximilian's coming this way with the others. And there's some people I haven't seen before. Look like they're outdoorsmen. They might be mercenaries or something of Maximilian's, or not quite.
They were not carrying weapons as far as you could tell.
Oh, okay.
Or armor.
They didn't have armor. All right, yeah, I'll tell them that there's a group of people that I haven't seen before that's also in the village.
I asked him back, did they look religious in nature or more rustic?
Rustic. From what I would probably gather.
Well, there's some rustic religious people too, but did they have any symbol or anything?
Not that I had spotted.
Do you think they're mercenaries?
I didn't see any weapons on them, so possibly not. But they might have them stored somewhere. We never know.
I look around for a young villager that's just sort of average one, and I ask. Mm-hmm. I was wondering. I say, sir, do you know anything about these strangers outside dressed in such rustic garb? I'm curious.
You mean Ivan and his laborers?
Oh.
Yeah, they've been here for about a couple of months. They're helping out with the harvest. I mean, not right now, I suppose. They're trapped like the rest of us. They're from up north. Strange folk. They're pretty savage, if you ask me. Not the greatest manners of all things, but to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of happy to have them here right now. They probably know how to fight if necessary.
Thank you so much. So they can fight.
I mean, I suppose I've heard that these people up north fight each other all the time.
Well, pay attention. You're about to be. There's an important announcement about to be made.
Maximilian, who's now entered the temple, he looks pretty nervous, and he stops there, looks around, and then he calls out sort of across the heads of the about 20 or 30 people that are standing between you and them. What's going on here? Why did you have everyone assembled? Where's my son? And he starts pushing his way through them. People do make space for him so he can push through, but there's not much room. So it's going still slow. Andre stays at his side, and his sister Beate also stay at his side. The other two sellswords sort of remain in the back, standing amongst the general population. Everyone looks expectant and afraid. The aura, the whole atmosphere is a fearful one, confused, fearful, and also expectant, as all eyes are gazing at you now.
Can we presume that most of the village is here now, or
you from what you can tell? I mean, it's hard to say, but you'd say about 3/4 of the village, maybe even more. Right. It's hard to exactly gather, but yeah, there's a lot of people here.
Okay, all right. So, shall I be the one then, or?
Yeah, you seem to have a good idea of what's going on.
Yeah. Why don't you say anything? I asked you a question. Where is my son? He was with you. And
I'll hold my
Andre says he's wounded.
I'll hold my hand up, basically, sort of to quiet him down, as a way of sort of saying. Look,
yeah, he stops about maybe 5 or 6 yards away from you, with Andre and his sister at his side, at the sort of where the front benches are, basically.
I'll step forward to the altar and sort of. I'm standing basically. Am I able to stand behind the altar, or would it be best if
you can't stand behind the altar? That was where the body of the young boy that was killed by the mutants was lying last night, but the body has disappeared. There is space now behind the altar, and you can see in front of you are about maybe 24 or so trinkets, amulets, and little other religious symbols, and the little painting that you have seen of what you now recognize as Johanna and Katharina, the Maximilian's wife and daughter. Obviously, they were both younger, and they weren't looking nearly as ferocious and tattooed or whatever that was. That yes, you've seen them, but there's definitely them. And one of those amulets is sort of hanging over the image.
Okay. Okay, I'll say. Okay, firstly, I'd like to say to appease everybody's worry. You're the son of Maximilian. Yorman, what was his?
Waldman was his name.
Volman was injured, but he is being cared for. He is no longer in danger, and he is somewhere safe for now.
Cared for? Andres calls out. Cared for by whom? Everyone is in the village.
We stand here in the temple, under the gaze of a god emperor, and before us lies the trinkets of your lost ones, the people who were taken 12 years ago, by the very people who now stand in the monk's horn.
The Maximilian crosses his arms and says, "So it is then. We were right then. It's the same group of mutants coming back for more."
What happened 12 years ago was a terrible thing. Your women and your children were taken from you. And as we can see here, their memory is still very strong amongst you all. And what we discovered, it didn't have to be. Your women and your children are still alive.
What?
And they were sold.
What?
They were sold.
Everyone's like shouting up. Several of the men jump up, and like
they were sold.
staring at you now very intently. And Maximilian's like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? There's no way. Our loved ones are dead. Do you think the orcs would have left them alive for this long?
We actually spoke to your wife and your daughter, Maximilian.
What?
That is where your son is. He is with his mother. And the orcs have no interest in attacking the village. All they want is the very person who sold them the women and children. They want the very men who made the deal.
Like chaos breaks loose. People are shouting at you like, what is he talking about? My wife, where's my daughter? What's he talking about? He's lying, scum. These freaking strangers. I told you we couldn't be trusted. And just voices thrown at you, echoing through the cathedral.
As loud as I can. Like, I want to just
be pale and wide-eyed, and he's struggling to contain himself. You can see he's shaking. But he does take a couple deep breaths. And as everyone is just shouting, several of the men actually come rushing forward and are sort of grabbing onto you, Garrett, and they're shouting into your face, what are you talking about? You saw my Anna, she's still alive. And just 3 or 4 men not able to contain themselves.
I'm trying to hold my hands up to quit quiet, and I say, look.
I yell out in my opera-trained voice, good people of Vorberg, listen, before we bring you a truth of good hope for your next generation. You are in grave danger and you've been betrayed.
Give me a
charm.
All
be quiet. I just shout that out.
Actually, this will be let's see, is there performance or something like that?
And I was going to invoke some mantra from the elder god that droned into me my 6 years in the nunnery.
So give me a leadership check, in fact, as you're sort of trying to get them to listen to you and calm down the chaos for a moment at least. It is very loud in the temple at the moment.
Just looking quickly, leadership is under... Okay, got it. All right, I give Audiad a...
So, no, you are completely ignored. Your voice...
I'm going to use a fortune button. Try again, right?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay. I don't get any bonus. I guess it's just a retry, right?
Yeah, it's a retry, exactly.
Gotcha.
Very same roll. 52. I'm afraid you just can't. Your little young voice. You're trying to calm down the people down, but everyone's just ignoring you and shouting over on top of you. No one can hear your voice, actually.
The ones that are grabbing on, I want to come up, try to throw one to the ground, and as loud as I can, yell everybody to be quiet.
Okay, that would be an intimidation check for sure.
All right. I succeed.
All right, so you grab 2 people. And they're not aggressive as such, more desperate. So you do grab them and push 2 of them back. The third one steps back by himself. And you what do you shout?
Quiet, listen to the lady. We have news. This is not a lie. And I just stand in front of her, just kind of guarding her so nobody else can run up.
Okay, so people seem confused as you say the lady.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Everyone quiets down. Or maybe there's still a few voices here and there, but it goes way quieter. And people no, mumbling with each other and such. And as soon as it goes quiet, Maximilian, who has gathered himself enough in the minute or so that the whole chaos has taken, starts to speak, but he's immediately silenced by his sister, who just shouts out with a very, very loud voice, "What are you talking about? This is ridiculous. These men are crazy. No way the women and children are still alive. They're liars or worse."
We are not lying. We went out there. We risked our lives for you, for strangers. So give us a minute, listen to us.
What do you mean you risked out your lives? We don't know that. You just went
Who
off.
who went to Blood Hill?
And now he's gone and you came back. Maybe you killed him, you robbed him and left him in a ditch or something.
Who went out to the
trick
hill?
us or something.
Baldwin.
Why would we try and trick you? We have no reason for that. If we wanted to, if we killed Waldman, we wouldn't have come back here. We had no reason to do that.
I don't know what the reasons are. You're strangers. I don't know what.
Oh, shut up, woman.
I'm going to loudly shout, especially at the woman. I'm going to loudly shout. I'm only talking to those people who lost family 12 years ago.
Okay. So you shout that into her face, basically, sort of, or into the crowd.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be a charm check. I will give you a +20 on this though.
Okay.
Situational bonus.
I just need to find charm. There you go.
99. That is a critical fail.
Can I fortune point
You
that?
certainly can if you wish. It's the second one
Yeah, I
gone.
think I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll try again. Do I still get the +20?
Yes, you do. It's the very same check.
Okay. If I roll another bloody 99.
Well, that would be pretty bad.
Ah,
That's better. Not a critical success, but a success nonetheless. Beate sort of starts talking again, but a couple of the men are like, "Shut up, woman!" shouting at her from the side. She sort of, in indignation, she draws herself up. And she's like, "Looks like my counsel is not welcome here." Maximilian grabs her by the shoulder and pushes her sort of behind him a little bit. And Andre, standing there, like a little confused, what to do. Maximilian says, "So, what is it you're saying then?" Turning to you now.
What I'm saying
seems
is,
calm, from what you can tell. Calm again, anyway.
I'll look at the people again. I'm not going to look at Max, but I'll look at the people. I'm going to say you have two choices. Your first choice is at sunrise tomorrow, they will come and they will take their revenge on the very people who sold them 12 years ago. Or your second choice is to take the very people who made that decision amongst you, and I'll Maximilian,
what are you talking about?
And hand them over.
Does anyone know what
these men over
about
sold
this man?
12 years ago, the men who sold your families 12 years ago, you hand these men over, they will leave the village alone. You will not be attacked.
People are like now looking at you confused. They're like, "Sold them? Sold who? What's he talking about?" They're like shouting out questions. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? What is going on? You said our women are still alive?
The orcs left because Maximilian offered up your women and your children as sacrifice for them to leave alone. They would never have left otherwise. That's the reason they left.
There's like a in-draw of breath as everyone's looking around, looking at you, looking at each other, looking at Maximilian. Most of the younger women that are here, the new wives, so to speak, look very confused and afraid as the men are sort of looking at each other. And then they all look at Maximilian. It's quiet for a bit. Maximilian looks around and throws back his head and starts laughing. This must be some sort of joke, right? Let me understand what you're saying. You're saying that I talked to the mutants when they were here last, and that I gave up our women and children, my own wife and daughter amongst them, sold them to the orcs? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Some people are starting to mutter like, preposterous.
I'll look at the people again and say, for those people who have taken new wives, you can either hand over the men who sold your families, or you can lose your new wives to this horde.
Let us assume that there is even a slight chance that I'm actually guilty of such a terrible, disgusting crime. Let us assume that. Then there's another question that poses itself. How would you know that? You weren't here 12 years ago. How would you?
Because your wife is still alive.
Because your wife
we talked to Johanna. We talked to her daughter. We talked to your daughter. You know who shot Waldman? Waldman was shot by his half-brother. His half-brother. Your wife, Johanna, was raped by one of the orcs. And as a consequence of that, well, Waldman has a brother, a half-brother, a mutant. We saw him, and I look at the altar for the trinkets for the necklace that we captured one. His name was Gregor, and he wore the exact same amulet, the exact same necklace as your other children.
That proves nothing.
Because Johanna made it.
Stolen it after he murdered my daughter and my wife.
Nobody murdered your daughter and your wife. Well, you almost did. You sold them. You offered them as a ransom to save your own hide. You gave them the location of the cave, the cavern where all your women and children were hiding. That's what you did in order to save. And that. Do you remember? Do you remember, good people? Do you remember
the crowd? I was there.
Do you remember who went? Do you remember who went to talk to the orcs? Who was a member of the party? There was Maximilian, Horst, Heinrich, and I don't remember the last one's name. But who are the people?
You only heard that there was 2 more people, but you didn't learn their names. But they died. So as far as you know, they're dead.
Who are the only people that died so far? They're the people that were part of that party. They were the people, the very people that sold your.
I don't know what you're playing at, little lady, Horst says. But we offered you. I let you into my home, into my inn. We offered you everything, and now you come with these lies, accusing Maximilian and myself, I suppose, as well. I was there. Nothing like that happened. Don't be ridiculous. We told the orcs the army was coming, and the army came. Sadly, a day too late, but nonetheless,
that is not at all what happened. Johanna told us the truth. She told us everything that happened. And the only reason the orcs are here now is because Johanna wants revenge. The orcs didn't have anything to find here again.
What? You're saying the orcs are listening to my wife?
Yeah, quite a fearsome person she is.
Give me a charm check with a -20.
Okay.
This is not a very likely thing to say, even though it is true.
Let me check my character sheet. 650. 55.
That is a fail.
I'm going to use a fortune point.
Okay, if you so wish. What is the chance? 35 with -20?
55.
Yeah,
so it's 35, yeah.
5, okay. 37. Close, but I'm afraid not quite close enough. People are like shouting, now what is she talking about? This woman has no idea. Another guy's like, what? Orcs are only, wouldn't listen to an old woman? Ridiculous. She's lying, obviously.
We didn't listen to an orc woman. We listened to Johanna. Johanna and her daughter, who are still alive and who are very much hurt by what you did to them.
Clearly, these people... Wait, you said you talked to the orcs. You talked to the
We talked to Johanna. We talked to your ex-wife. Your wife isn't dead, and you will see this tomorrow morning when she comes to fetch you.
They are accusing me, us all, of this crime. They are telling obvious lies. I don't know what is going on with these people, but I do know. I know what is going on here. They have been sent by the mutants, probably paid off to divide us, to turn us against one another. I say
I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to say, look, we were sent here to collect hemp for the wife of Maximilian's. And that is what we will do. We have given you the message. You now have two choices.
You will do no such thing. You have lied to us. You have accused me. You have taken money from Rafke, and you want more money. He doesn't like let you talk at all. He's just shouting on top of you, and people are starting to get up, and you realize that the tide is slowly turning against you. You are mercenaries, you are cutthroats, you are strangers, eager for money. You have accepted the mutants' money, and
you haven't paid us any money.
You to destroy us. Men,
No, we
take them,
money.
take them now.
You have never paid us any money, Maximilian. We have done this out of the goodness of our heart.
You're talking, but no one can hear you. Farmers are getting up. A couple of them are like drawing daggers or cudgels. Andre is hesitating, but about maybe 15 or so farmers are standing up, pushing their way through, and slowly sort of encircling, like in a semicircle, encircling you. And they look pretty angry. Liars! Mutant lovers! Scum! Cutthroats! And like shouting all the different words into your faces. They're angry, afraid, and you have given, basically Maximilian has given them a direction for this fear and this anger. And you realize that you don't have much time before you're actually swarmed by the villagers and beaten up at least, or maybe even killed right there. What do you want to do? You only have a couple seconds, really. You can do basically one action or a couple sentences at the most. So let's start with Gotrek. What are you doing at the moment, Gotrek, as this is happening?
All right, I'll draw out my weapon, and I'll basically scream, "You can either help us save this village, or you try to kill us, and the orcs will still come tomorrow.
Okay.
You have one chance to do the right thing."
Okay, that's what you're doing. What's Garrett doing?
I will say you have a choices. If you take this choice, then you're all lost.
Okay. Ruprecht?
I'm reaching around into my small satchel case on my back and getting a vial of oil handy and looking around for a quick show, a flash of flame. I don't want to burn the place down. Gods would never forgive me.
There's a couple torches and a few candles. So there is flame here. Closest to you are a bunch of candles that are sort of at the sides of the altar.
We may need a distraction. I don't know if the gods will ever forgive me for this.
All right. And last but not least, Wanda.
Maximilian is saying, we are trying to divide you. What Johanna asks is two people, Horst and Maximilian. You can kill us. You can kill 4 people. Tomorrow we will all be slaughtered. Or you can hand over the two people, and you will all be left unharmed.
So, okay, so we have an intimidation check from Garrett and Gotrek, and we have a charm check from Wanda. All of those checks will be at a -20, as the tide is now turning against you, and the people you're talking to are quite angry and not easily reasoned with.
I whispered to Garrett and
You had to
Gotrek.
have whispers, and
Okay.
also not the space for whispers. It's so loud in here, a whisper would just remain unheard.
We have the sun. I yell at them so they can hear me at least.
Okay. So let's do this. Gotrek,
I succeeded.
the -20 with the -20.
Yeah, I rolled a 27, and I needed to get under 40.
All right, nice. Garrett.
26. Oh, I failed it by 1, man.
Ooh. Okay. And Wanda.
Use a fate button.
Yeah, but I can't guarantee I'll roll even that low again.
Right.
Wanda, is that a success or a fail?
That's failure as well.
Okay. So Gotrek, the couple of them that are in front of you hesitate as you're sort of whatever. You have a sword, right? Something like that?
Yeah, I'm not like swinging at him yet, but I'm holding it to like get him to back up.
Yeah. So the like 2 or 3 of them that are immediately facing you stop, hesitating, looking at each other, not eager all of a sudden to get into the reach of your sword, basically, as they do realize that you're not willing to come quietly. And they are only farmers after all. But however, it is not enough. The other like 10 or so villagers leap towards the rest of you, trying to grab you or push you to the ground. And you realize that they are probably not going to kill you, but they will definitely beat you up. Question is to you, what do you want to do? Do you want to resist or try to flee or whatever? I'm afraid the time for words has come to an end. So make quick decisions. You only have a second or so to think. Gotrek, what are you doing?
If the three that aren't coming towards me like stay back,
you have a bit of space. You're the only one who has a bit of space.
I'm just gonna yell. Is there a way for us to get out behind us?
Looking around, this will be your action basically. You do see there is a side gate. That is where the priest Wilhelm is standing. But there's about 3 or 4 men in between you and that.
I would just say run as I see the door.
Okay. You shout that. All right, that was Gotrek. Garrett. What are you doing? You're muted. Garrett? James? Hello?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I mean, these people have obviously made a decision, and I'm not dying for these people, quite frankly. I'm not dying for their screwed up beliefs, so I'm leaving. I'm following Gotrek out.
You don't know where Gotrek is going. He shouted run. That's all he did.
Oh, he just said run. So basically, I'm going to look where he's going and run.
Okay. Wanda?
Run.
Ruprecht?
I squirt a flash of kerosene on a candle to create a small fireball effect and some chaos, I'm hoping.
The chances that you hurt yourself in this are quite significant.
Okay, I run.
You're all sort of standing, you're pushed behind the altar, around the altar now. You're all around the altar, and the farmers are closing in from all sides. And
I get in behind Gotrek. I use his eyes and barrel ride behind him.
So you're now all running as the farmers are jumping at you, trying to push you to the ground, smacking into you with cudgels or fists or like sticks or whatever they have at hand. A couple of them are even lifting chairs or something in the temple, trying to smash them into you. Not with necessarily the killing intent yet, anyway, but you do sense that a crowd, once angered, can be murderous and turn murderous within very few seconds. This will be tricky for you guys to get out. So each of you will need to roll me either a athletics or a coordination check, depending on whether you want to push your way through with strength or try to weasel your way through. Athletics and will be at a -20 for everyone except for Gotrek, because you have a bit of, actually, in fact, Gotrek, for you, it will be -10 for both of those rolls, no matter what you choose. For the rest of you, athletics will be at a -20, acrobatics will be at a -10. And you will need, sorry, not acrobatics, coordination. And you will need 2 successful checks in a row to make it out of there.
As I do
several
this,
farmers. So we are now, each just roll me a really fast initiative check. So that's 1d10, add your initiative. And tell me what you have.
11.
24 for Gotrek.
Sorry? 11 with Wanda, yeah, right?
sorry. I got a 7.
7 for Ruprecht. Okay.
24.
Gotrek?
24.
Oh yeah, you have the ability. That's right. And Garrett. Garrett?
Yeah, 15. Sorry, I keep putting myself on.
15. Okay.
And as I'm squirming, I'm going to try pull that flask of oil and just drop it on the floor.
Cool. It's not your turn at the moment. Gotrek, what are you doing? Quick.
I see that door, and I'm just going to try to like get towards, and if anybody's in my way, like push past them.
Okay. So you're using your bulk, your sheer strength
Yeah.
to tackle through, basically, American football style. All right. That will be a athletics check with a -10.
I succeed.
All right. So you like push 2 people off, smack one in the stomach. He goes down, holding his stomach. And you're starting to make your way through the door, but more and more farmers are closing. Get them! Betrayers! They're working with the mutants! They want to kill us all! Shout from all sides. Garrett, what are you doing?
I'm going to basically follow Gotrek through, running his heels and, yeah, basically use coordination, I guess.
Okay, so you're weaseling your way through more than using strength. Okay.
Do you need me to do a coordination roll?
Yes, please.
Minus what?
Minus 20. $11. Nice. That's a critical success, in fact, because you have a critical success. You actually manage to get through to the door. So you choose the right moment, following in the basically the sort of the protective area, the small spot that has been opened up by the guy who was punched in the stomach by your friend Gotrek. And then you see a gap between 2 men where the priest is standing, where Wilhelm is standing, still like afraid and clutching the wall, and no one's attacking him. So there's a bit of space there, and you dash right there, leap, push yourself off from one guy, and weasel your way through. And they're standing at the door now, very fast. And now all the farmers are like with their backs toward you. A couple of them are like turning, but they're surprised by the quickness of your movements. Wanda.
An athletics test.
Okay, so you're trying to follow Gottsched's example.
And that's a success.
Minus 20, are you sure?
Yeah, I have 48 plus 5 because I have manifest destiny, so that's 53.
That is, wow, a very close success, but a success nonetheless. So because you're a woman, people seem to be, even the angry farmers seem a little hesitant, and you use that hesitation to like kick them between the legs and just push them over and leap. You grab some trinket from the altar, smash it in a guy's face. He stumbles back, oh, the bitch! Oh! And you leap past, making your way, not quite to the door, but you are on your way there. And last but not least, we have Ruprecht. What are you doing?
Ruprecht had maneuvered himself behind Gotrek in the last round.
Left the...
Yeah,
so
but I was going to try grab his belt as he maneuvered forward, like when he did the old linebacker move.
He would have taken a penalty if he was dragging you behind, and since he already rolled, it's a bit hard to retrospectively rule that.
Do I get a bonus for being in his wake when I knew he's the biggest guy. I was just going to try follow him and use my coordination, and I'm hoping to get advantage or bonus.
We were trying to do that, but Garrett took that space, I'm afraid. He just whiffed past you. It's not that much space. It's not enough for 2 people to use the space behind Gotrek.
I'm tiny.
Not tiny enough. This is
gotcha.
It's like a disco, basically. People are like pressed against each other. It's very tight.
All right.
So you have a coordination check with minus 20 as well.
Roger.
Close, but not close enough, I'm afraid. You are trying to push your way through, but a guy grabs you by the shoulder, another one punches you in the face, and another one tackles you. You manage to stay on your feet, but you are surrounded by 3 or 4 men. They're just punching you. You get an elbow to the side of the head. In fact, you take damage. You will take 8 points of damage. What is your wound threshold?
Is that the peril threshold? No.
No. The wound threshold is on page 2 of your
damage. Damage threshold. Pardon me.
Yeah, damage threshold. That's the one.
Yeah. 4.
Okay. And so your next one is 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only go down 1 level.
Gotcha.
You're hurt, but not too badly yet. However, you're staying behind. You're pinned at the altar, basically. All right. Moving up to the top, Gotrek. What do you want to do?
I'm still just barreling through, just going as fast as I can straight for the door.
All right. Another one. Athletics check with -10.
I succeed again.
All right. You manage to basically smack another guy out of the way, grab one and push him into another, then leap through and get to the door where the priest Wilhelm and also your companion Garrett is. Speaking of Garrett, it is your turn, Garrett. What do you want to do?
Do I see my companion go down?
You turn and you see Ruprecht. He's not down yet, but he has not managed to catch up to you. He's been pinned to the altar, and like 3 or 4 men have grabbed a hold of him and like beating on him while he's just like this, covering he or she.
Okay, I'm dragging off my axe. I'm going back in. I'm not leaving anyone behind.
All right. So you draw your weapon and you leap at one of the farmers.
And I yell out, "Help me! They got me!" And I'm going to start.
Are you trying to just like chop one down, or are you trying to push your way through, or what are you doing?
I'm going to start felling trees. I've got a wood axe. I'm taking these people out.
All right. Well, that would be a simple melee attack.
All right.
Without modifiers.
Okay.
$39. That's a hit.
Hit.
Smack one guy in the leg. Roll damage.
Okay. Let me just find out what that is.
That's a 1d6 plus whatever your axe says. It should be your
Yeah, it's all on here.
fire, I'm pretty sure. Your brawn bonus, I mean.
I should have rolled that, shouldn't I? I'm rolling this, but just for the damage.
It's 37? What? That can't be right. Wait, what? You actually rolled 4 6s in a row.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's just for the damage. That's not for the roll. Obviously, I rolled it already, but I should roll the whole weapon.
Okay, so I hope that's correct. So you leap in, back, you rip your wood cutting axe from your belt and just smack into one guy's side, and you can hear this awful sound as his ribs break and your axe goes all the way through to his spine, basically, where it gets lodged in. He just falls over, blood spurting, and he's dying on the ground instantly, one of the farmers. For a moment, everyone like stops, sees that, and then you can hear angry shouts. Wolfgang! He killed Wolfgang! You bastard! And now weapons are coming out. People are starting to draw daggers and whatever they have. A couple of them like grabbing spears that they have left at the walls and such. It's turned into a struggle for life and death in a split second. All right. That was Garrett's turn. Wanda.
I want to get out first before I start shooting back.
Okay. So that using coordination or athletics?
Athletics.
Okay. It is now -10 only because the people have hesitated for a moment, but that is a critical fail, I'm afraid. So that does not help you at all. So you are trying to get through, but one of the larger men, a large farmer, is standing in front of you, and you recognize this is Horst, the innkeeper. He just turns as you run past him. He just hooks his arm around your throat as you run past him, and then smacks you straight in the face, and you fall down to the ground. And you will also take, I'm using one of my misfortune points to make my roll into a 6 immediately. So you will take 14.
14.
Yes.
That's 2 levels of damage.
Okay, so you're like on the ground, 2 levels, which means that I believe we have to roll for. So you're now moderately wounded, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So roll me a d6. Don't roll a 6, because otherwise you will take an injury.
Yep. That's a 6.
Okay, you're taking an injury. That will be a D100, and that I'll say it was to your head because you punched in the face. 88. Moderate, you said, right?
Yep.
All right, so your movement is reduced by 3 as you are stunned, and you must have a concussion or something. So permanently until you regenerate from this injury, and this will take a long time in Zweihander, you're reduced. Your movement is reduced by 3.
Yeah.
Okay. That was that, and we have Ruprecht. You see Wanda going down with blood spurting out of her face. But you have your own issues, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's right. Is it possible for am I being pinned down?
No, you're not on the ground, but they're sort of trying to grapple you. They haven't quite succeeded yet, but they have surrounded you from 3 sides, and the altar is behind you, right behind you. You're pressing the small of your back into the altar.
Is it possible? I had mentioned that I'd made my oil flask available. I was going to try
you probably still hold it in your hand, I'm guessing, since you don't have anything else.
I was just going to hurl it toward where I sensed the last light source was roughly at.
There's a bunch of candles on the altar right behind you, yeah. Okay, so just
Holy One, forgive me, and I whip it out and flail it at the candles and the candelabras, and
so
hoping it spurts.
This will be
and I yell out to every. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do a trick. Get ready, and I throw it and Wanda.
Okay, so this is a simple ranged attack. Because you're so close, I will give you a +20 on that. However, you still need to roll because there's a bunch of people around you trying to grab your arm and punch you and stuff like that.
Roger.
So a simple ranged attack with +20.
Use my blunderbuss, which would be a 97 roll. Oh my god.
Yeah. So your flask.
I use a fortune point. Fortune point.
Okay.
Fortune point.
That's the second to last one.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a human torch.
Damn
it. Yeah.
89. That's not much better, I'm afraid.
69. Can you use 2 of those points in a row?
No.
No.
Only 1 per roll. So as you, it's not a critical fail, so you do not douse yourself, luckily, but the flask is knocked out of your grip before you can throw it properly, and it just disappears somewhere on the right, maybe splashing a little bit of oil on the ground, but that's all. So, by the way, for those of you who are watching this are wondering what the fuck is going on because we're not really using action points and stuff like that, there's not much point because I have like 30 farmers that are in the fight, so it would take like 15 hours per turn to get through 1 turn, so we'll just do 1 action for every combatant, basically, over and over until this is resolved. Okay, that was Ruprecht's turn. Farmers now. Ruprecht, you're attacked by a bunch of fists from all directions. Wanda, you're already on the ground, so you're for now ignored anyway, at least. And both Gotrek and Garrett, you are also both attacked. Gotrek, you by 1 guy. Garrett, you by 2, who are eager to, avenge this Wolfgang fella who you just killed, or at least maimed for life. Okay, Ruprecht, you take 2. You can parry one of those if you wish. The other one you will have to take, I'm afraid. Unless, no, actually, that's all. Do you wish to parry? Ruprecht? Darren?
Oh, pardon me, yes. Oh, yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes. I missed the name there. Parry's 49.
Yeah, okay.
And
Nope. You take two strikes.
Roger.
Okay, they're both a 8. So 2 8s.
Ouch.
So now you check your wound threshold.
Damage
Or
threshold,
whatever
right?
it's called, damage
At
threshold. Yeah.
4, but it's 10, so I do go down twice.
So you go down one level and then another level, two times. So what are you at now?
Now, was unharmed the first level I had to submit,
Okay.
right?
You are-
I was already there.
Yeah.
With the 2, I'm now moderately wounded.
Okay, so you also roll me d6 to see if you take an injury from this.
Roger. Okay.
As you're just pummeled and struck. Nope.
A
you don't
2.
take an injury, luckily for you. Okay.
Battered and bruised, though, imagine. Getting a bit bloody, split lip, stinging eyes.
Yeah. I mean, they're hitting you with their fist, so it's not quite so bad, but there's 3 of them, so yeah. It's
And I'm like 110 pounds, if that.
Yeah, that is true.
105.
That is true. All right, Gotrek. One guy leaping at you with a knife. Ah! But he misses. You easily twist out of the way. These farmers are not massively good fighters, but they're angry and afraid. And 2 of them attacking Garrett. One with a spear and the other one with like a cudgel, basically, a piece of wood. The one with the cudgel hits, the spear guy misses as you duck under the spear. The spear is not the greatest weapon for this sort of close combat. You can parry if you desire, Garrett.
Yeah, how do I do that?
You roll a parry check, which is on the second page of your character sheet. It should have a parry rating.
Parry rating.
Yes, it is right above your damage threshold, I think.
We'll look. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So you roll against that without any modifiers.
Right. Give me a second, because I haven't got it on my other character sheet. It's 58. So.
Okay.
Yep.
19.
Parry.
So you bring up your axe and sort of smack the cudgel away as it's coming your way. All right, that was Farmer's turn. Gotrek, your turn.
All right, the one that just swung at me, I'm gonna go right at him.
Okay.
I miss.
Okay, you swing your sword, but the farmer ducks under, trying to step in close to basically jab his knife into your stomach. And there's a bunch more farmers getting ready to attack you. Now murder in their eyes as you have killed one of their own. Garrett, your turn.
Okay, can I? One of the ones that attacked me, maybe the cudgel guy. Can I attempt to grab him and place him in a way that my axe is at his throat, and yell stop to everybody? Basically, grab him.
Pretty hard to do with someone who's like prepared to fight you. That would take you at least 2 turns. So at first you have to do a chokehold against him.
Yeah.
And then if he does not break it in his turn, then next turn you can do that with your axe. So we'll need 2 successful rolls in a row, basically.
Right. I just don't want. I don't see the point of us killing each other, really.
You're very right, but I'm afraid they're not going to listen.
Well, my thought is that if I grab one of them, maybe they will listen.
Maybe, yeah. So you're going for that?
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt. I don't know whether should I attempt it. Do I care?
So a chokehold or an attack? What do you want to do?
I'm going to attack one again.
Just straight up, axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. My axe. Here we go.
43 hits. 16 points of damage. Are you sure that that's not broken, that thing that you're rolling? Because you rolled 260.
Maybe I'm just rolling high. 6 plus 6. 1d6 fury. I rolled a lot of sixes.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying so far. No, that can't be. You rolled 5 6s in a row now. I'm trying to because I don't get a bit suspicious that sheet. Okay, well, anyway, so you slash into another one, into his arm. He drops his cudgel and stumbles backwards, heavily injured. Wanda, you're on the ground. Surrounded
I try to get up.
2 or 3 people. Yeah, you can get up. You are now sort of dazed, and there's as you're getting up, several farmers are turning towards you, Horst and a couple others. What do you want to do?
I want to try and get out again.
Okay. I will give you a -20 once more.
Okay. That's success.
That is a success. Excellent. So they have not expected this woman who was punched so hard by a pretty large guy to jump up as quickly as you did. And you're not very fast because you're like shaken by the blow, as I said, but you managed to make your way nearly to the door. You're now basically sort of in between Gotrek and Garrett. Leaping over the guy that Garrett killed. Was still on the ground, like bleeding out. All right, Ruprecht.
Yeah, now I'm still being pummeled, and I took some wounds, but I'm still in this fight. I'm not dazed or anything. So Ruprecht is now, she has this trait of determination. Like, she's quite fearless little spark plug when cornered, and a survivor. It comes down and she starts kicking and biting at this point. So she's going for groin kicks and biting hands that get close enough to her face, and just doing a general brawl to clear to like a cornered cat, just to sprint.
All right. So
After
just, not really
Garrett,
trying to more like get some space around you, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Just
okay.
Back off, spit and fire. Like now, I kind of lose it. Like go into feral mode.
That will be a simple melee check, please.
Roger.
As you're just like scratching and biting and basically with desperation.
Now if I can.
Excellent.
Oh, hallelujah!
So
finally rolled.
Yeah, scratch one guy through
I got claws, nails going, biting and kicking.
Doing the legs, make a little bit of space around you. So you have briefly gathered enough space that no one will attack you this turn. However, they will attack your companions, and there's more and more farmers now pushing in. So Gotrek, Garrett, and Wanda, you're all attacked by 2 enemies this turn, 2 farmers, who are now wielding all kinds of different weapons. Gotrek, you're struck by 1 of them. Garrett is also struck by 1, and Wanda is struck by 2, both of the attacks.
Can I parry the one?
Yes, you can.
Succeed.
All right. What you have a shield or something, or are you just using your sword?
My sword.
Okay, so you parry 1 attack and then another attack away. Basically, these farmers are they're no match for you. You're a trained fighter, but nonetheless, the number is starting to push you back a bit. Garrett.
Okay, I'm going to parry.
Yeah.
Again, it's 58. Oh.
A 4. Yeah, you parry successfully as well. Wanda.
I'm going to try to parry as well.
Yeah, you can only parry 1, sadly. So the other one will go through no matter what you do. Is that a success?
No, 51.
Okay, so you take 2 hits. Okay, one is a 5, and the other one is a 7. What's your pain threshold?
6.
6. So you ignore the 5, but you do go down another level.
Okay.
You are now
seriously wounded,
and you need to roll 2d6s to see if you take another injury. If any of them is a 6, you take another injury. Nope. Luckily for you.
Yeah.
You do not take another injury, but you are starting to hurt a lot. One of the guys slashes your shoulder open, like the top of your arm open with a knife. The other one smacks you in the face, but you shake it off. He just smacks you in the forehead, in the bone, basically. All right, that was the farmer's turn. Gotrek, your turn.
All right, as I parry, the one that like almost got me, try to stab right into his head.
Go for it.
Succeed.
Okay.
Barely, but I succeeded.
You do succeed. He tries to bring up his dagger to parry, but he's too slow.
Let me check damage. 12.
All right, he slashed into the side of his head. He just basically managed to turn around away. Otherwise, he would have chopped through, broken skull. But you do manage to score a pretty nasty cut on the side of his face. Blood runs into his eye. He shakes it off. A bit of blood spurts into your face as he shakes like a dog. Stumbles back a bit, but still holding his dagger out in front. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Can I try like moving past them, like as they move back?
Into the temple, further into the temple?
Like I'm still trying to get out of the temple.
Oh, the door is behind you.
Oh, okay. Is Wanda in front of me?
You could leap out the door, but you would provoke attacks of opportunity if you do so. But you would get out, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, so 2 attacks, and you turn, and basically, while this guy is stumbling backwards, and I'd say he's briefly blinded by the blood in his face, so he cannot do an attack of opportunity. The other guy, holding like a woodcutter's axe, however, will strike at your back as you turn.
Okay.
And he does hit you, I'm afraid.
Am I able to try to dodge it or no?
You cannot dodge because you have you can only dodge ranged attacks unless you have an ability that lets you dodge melee attacks as well.
And I wouldn't be able to parry it, correct?
You can parry technically because this turn you have not used parry yet. Parry resets at the start of your turn.
Okay, I'll try to parry it.
But if they attack you again later in the round, you will not be able to parry anymore.
Okay, I'll still try to parry, and I succeeded.
Okay, so you turn, you leap, and you like looking back, you see the axe coming, you smack it away with your sword, and you push the door open. And you can see the door leads out of the building into like an alleyway, basically, on the back of the temple.
And that's all I'll do?
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can do. Garrett, your turn.
Okay, so where is Wanda and...
Wanda is to your right, immediately to your right, being like fighting as much as she can. Ruprecht / Astrid is, however, about maybe 6 or 7 yards away from you at the altar, still in the center of the temple, and there's like 10 people in between you or so.
Okay, where's the door? Is it behind
The door is
you?
behind you, about maybe 2 yards, 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind you.
And is Wanda closer to the door than I am?
No. Yeah, actually, she is a little bit closer, not much, but like maybe about, I don't know, 20, 30 inches or so.
Right. Basically, I'm gonna plow forward to save Astrid.
All right. Whew. Okay, that would be an athletics check with -30. As
Right,
there's
okay.
a bunch of you're basically trying to push through a wall of people.
Can I notice that and like attack them from the other side?
Well, you are already.
Okay.
No, but you're too busy to notice anything except for your immediate surroundings, the face of the 3 men that are trying to kill you.
I'll do this.
Go for it, Garrett. Yeah,
No.
43. You leap in, but they immediately start surrounding you and hitting you from the sides.
Can I try
You
a
actually-
fortune or a fate roll? Fate point for
You
that.
can. This is the very last one that you guys have. But yeah, you can if you want to.
Does anybody mind me doing that?
No, I've already burned a
Right.
couple.
Okay.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna use a fortune and roll it again. Even though it's
All right.
slim, it's worth doing, really. I think.
Yeah, it's a very slim chance, but maybe the last chance to save Ruprecht / Astrid. 15! That is a success. You managed to, like, with a roar, you slash your axe like a semicircle. And the people who have seen what this axe can do are leaping backwards away from you. And you actually managed to open a corridor. Not a, like, completely open one, but enough that maybe Rupert has a chance to get through. However, you are now starting to get surrounded. People are getting in behind you, in between you and the door, basically. Wanda, your turn.
I'm going to try and get out.
Okay, that will provoke
No point in fighting. That's a success.
What are you rolling?
I managed against athletics.
Oh, no. There's no one between you and the door. You don't need to roll athletics.
Ah, okay.
You can roll. But they will attack you as you run, basically.
Okay.
So that is 2 attacks coming your way. One of them does hit you.
Parry? No.
Yeah,
You can
and I try to parry again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a success.
Okay, so I don't know what you have in your hands. Nothing, right? You don't have any weapon in your hand.
No.
So you just grab one guy who's like stabbing with a spear. You just grab the spear and push it away, and then turn and run out the door. You're basically in the door now because you have so low movement. What is your movement actually at the moment?
2, I think. Yep.
Yeah, so you're very slow. You stumble like a drunk, basically. Okay, that was Wanda's turn. Ruprecht.
I'm still feral mode and desperate, and I'm tiny, so I look for a hole, like an offensive line that I can just
You see a
cartwheel
small
through and just scream.
one guy in between you and it, but if you can get past that guy, you might be able to run.
Wanda, I'm coming. Now that's a coordination?
Yeah, if you want to sort of wiggle through, that would be a coordination check, yes. -10.
Okay, sorry, that's a bad roll.
No, I'm afraid not. You leap, but he catches you and pushes you back against the altar.
Arg.
And it's now their turn. 3 farmers are closing in on you, Wanda. Ah, sorry, Ruprecht, not Wanda. Yeah, 2 hits, Wanda. This is still beating you to a pulp with their fists.
There's no parry opportunity at this point. I tried.
You can do 1 parry, yeah. You have not used parry yet this turn.
Who's being hit now? Wanda or Ruprecht?
Ruprecht is being hit.
Okay.
Parry.
You succeed. One of the attacks, however, goes through, and because I'm a bastard, I'm going to use a misfortune point.
Yeah.
So that will be 10 in total.
So I'll move
11.
another.
Sorry, 11.
Oh, that'll be past 2 pain thresholds.
So where are you at the moment?
Grievously wounded.
Okay, so as you stumble forward, the guy catches you, pushes you back, and a fist comes from the side and catches you right in the throat. Oh, you're like but hardly getting any air, and you're flung against the altar, smacking against it, like pushing over the candles and the portrait of Johanna and Katharina that's just flung to the side. Roll me 3d6s now to see if you can avoid injury. Any 6 is an injury, and you do not want to take a grievous injury, believe me.
That's what it's all about, folks.
A 6. There it is. A grievous injury. Roll me a d100. What is it?
What? Oh, sorry, I rolled 3 of them. That's the first one, 25.
25. You are unconscious. You smack with your head against the altar as you're flung back. You sink down with a concussion, a massive one. Just slump on the underground. Your eyes are open. You can just barely see, but there's no more control over your body now.
Damn.
All right. So, Gotrek is the only one who cannot be attacked at this turn because Wanda is in the door. So everyone who tries to attack Gotrek is attacking Wanda instead, which means Wanda, you get 3 attacks coming your way.
Ouch.
Parry.
And all 3 will hit, I'm afraid.
Could you repeat that?
All 3 will hit.
Oh, well, I'm still going to parry 1.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Actually, you already parried 1 this turn, I'm afraid.
Oh,
You
okay.
You only have 1 parry a turn. which means that you cannot parry any of these. Okay, so one of them you ignore. One of them is a 6, and the other one is an 8.
6. My threshold is 6. So do I ignore that, or is?
I think so. I think so. I think it has to go over your threshold.
Because otherwise I'm slain.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. We'll just play it like that for now.
How many d6s?
So you are now what?
The last step.
Grievously wounded?
Yep.
That's 3d6s.
Okay.
Oh my god, 3 6s. Well, I mean, you still get only 1 injury, but nonetheless, that is amazing. Roll me a d100. What is it?
19.
19. You are also unconscious. Wow. You rolled the same thing. So a dagger hits you in the side. You manage to evade him, but then you see a cudgel coming straight for your face. Hits you in the forehead, and everything goes black.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay. And now we have Garrett, who's surrounded from all sides by farmers as he bravely tried to get through to Ruprecht. And attacks are just raining down on you from 4 directions. So I'll do 4 attacks against you. Two of them will hit Garrett.
Do I get a chance to parry?
You can, yeah. You have not parried yet this turn, so you can parry one of them. The other one will go through, I'm afraid.
Okay. So my parry is 58. So
yeah.
Here we go again. Yep, I parried one.
39, excellent. You parried one more, so which means one goes through, and that will be 9 points.
So does my armor come off that?
Yes, your armor increases your damage threshold. That is why your damage threshold is, I'm assuming, higher than it would naturally.
Oh, right.
What is your damage threshold?
I don't know. Damage threshold. Where is that?
That is on the second page of your character sheet, under where parry and dodge is.
It's 5.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What is your brawn bonus?
My brawn bonus is 4. Yeah, so that's right.
Okay, yeah, 5 is fine. Yeah, so because you have an armor that gives you 1 more. So I had 10, I believe, right? And which means your second threshold is a 12, 11, or something like that, right?
My second threshold is plus 6. That's 11. You gave me 9 points of damage.
So you only go down 1 level.
Right.
Which means that you're what, lightly wounded? You were not injured yet so far, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, lightly wounded.
Okay, so you're only lightly wounded. That's not too bad. You get a scratch. It's bleeding and painful, but not too bad. You do not need to roll against for injuries yet. Okay, that was the farmer's turn. Gottschalk, your turn. You turn over your shoulder. You see Wanda trying to get out. One guy grabs her and pulls her back. Another one smacks her in the face with a piece of wood, and she goes limp, unconscious on the ground.
I'll turn around.
Garrett surrounded by like 4 or 5 opponents, and you have no clue where Ruprecht is. You cannot see him or her.
So there's 3 people in the door.
Well, they're not in the door, but like right behind. Yeah.
Right. Can I see is there like behind them? Is there definitely like more coming this way?
Well, behind them is Garrett, and surrounded by like 4 or 5 more people. So for now, you only have those 3 opponents until they overwhelm Garrett, basically, if they do.
What is in front of me?
Like in front of you, outside?
Like away from the church.
Yeah, there is a bit of road, a bit of dirt path, and then another building about maybe 5 or 6 yards away. And there's a path going right and the path going left, and then curling around to the front of the temple. You're not quite sure where the path going right goes, but somewhere deeper into the village, probably.
I'll turn around, and the one closest, I'll try to stab.
Okay, so the one that sort of grabbed Wanda and pulled her back. Yeah, go for it.
Succeed.
All right. You do succeed. He does not manage to parry.
For 13 damage.
Oh, shit. You stab him in the side. Ah! Stumbles back and sort of just basically disengages. He doesn't seem to be too keen to continue the fight with such a pretty painful wound.
And it's like yell, like growl at the other ones that are standing there.
All right. So total damage exceeds base damage. Yeah, so we played it correctly. Excellent. That was Gottrik's turn. Garrett.
Okay, well, I'm guessing I'm surrounded by a load of farmers.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 farmers around you. One of them is Horst, the innkeeper.
One of them was what?
One of them is Horst, the innkeeper. The other ones are farmers. That you don't really know.
I'm gonna basically swipe at Horst, the innkeeper.
All right, go for it.
He's probably the biggest threat there, I reckon.
Yeah, he's a pretty large, burly man. A bit old, but still fairly strong.
Yeah, but it may knock him all back a bit. Anyway, so okay, here we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your thing is broken. You rolled another 2 6s. That's impossible. You rolled like 8 6s in a row now. So just roll me manually. Oh, you missed anyway. Sorry. No matter. So you slash at him, but he ducks back, and the axe cuts through the air. Okay, so that was Garrett's turn. Wanda is unconscious. Rupert is unconscious. So both of you will now have to roll me a, let's say, a toughness check, both of you, please, just to see if you are actually trampled to death in this whole thing, because you're unconscious on the ground. There's like fighting going on everywhere. I will give you a +10, but nonetheless, you're heavily injured and you. So both Wanda and Ruprecht, please.
How do we do that?
A toughness check. It's a skill. Toughness.
Oh, yeah, right. I see it.
Strong-based skill. Pretty much everything I tell you is a skill in this system.
I rolled a 10 and a -10. I actually got a 0.
What do you mean -10?
You said, or +10, I mean. So
yeah. So you both succeed. That is good. So you're both safe. You're not trampled to death. You're bleeding. You're unconscious, but yeah, alive.
Not
All
yet.
right. Now we have a whole bunch of farmers attacking Garrett and Gottrek. Well, 2 of them attacking Gottrek. 4 of them attacking Garrett. One of your attackers hits Gottrek.
All right, I'll try to parry that one.
Yep.
I barely manage, but I get it.
Okay, you're still alive. Or unhurt, actually. Garrett, you are struck by 2, by Horst and another.
And I guess I can't parry.
You can parry 1 of those 2.
Oh, okay, then I'll try to parry Horst's. So I think that'll probably be the most dangerous.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, no, I fail.
Well, I'll use a misfortune point on Horst's attack. The max damage. So Horst's attack.
do we get those points?
Nope. Horst's attack is a 15. And the other attack is a 9.
I was gonna. Oh, yeah, we don't.
Is that damage?
Yes. So 9. We'll do the first one first. So that's 9 points, which I believe is 1 threshold, 1 level down for you.
Yep. Give me a second. I don't know where it is on there. I'll be with you in a second. Hold on. Just trying to find shit.
It's on the second page of your card sheet on the right side.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, roll. I know it on the PDF. I'm just trying to find it on the roll 21. Okay, so yes, you're wounded now then.
Yeah, so you're moderately wounded, which means you will have to roll me 1d6. to see if you're injured. If you roll 6, you are injured by this attack by one of the farmers stabbing you in the side with a dagger.
Okay, let me do that now.
Just 1d6. That's a 2. That's fine. However, now the horse attack was, I believe, a 11.
15.
That's a 16. So how many levels does that get you down?
2. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3, I guess.
Is it? Are you sure? What's your first threshold is 5, right? The second one should be 11.
5. Next one
7.
is plus 6. That's 10. And then the next one is
17. So 2 levels. So you go
2
from
levels,
moderately
okay.
wounded to grievously wounded, which means you have to roll me 3d6s.
Right.
You are very close to death.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, you could have run. But you're still standing, surprisingly enough. You catch a broken chair straight on the face. You can feel your nose breaking and your lip being split. Maybe you spit out a tooth, but you're still standing. You're not going to let this innkeeper beat you down. Not yet, anyway. All right,
To next round.
Gotrek.
All right, the one that I parried, I'm going to slash at him.
Okay.
Ooh, critical success.
But he parries, I'm afraid. Oh, actually, if you critically succeed, he cannot parry. It goes through. It is not allowed to parry.
Ooh, max damage again, 13.
All right, so you slash through one of the guys, another like over his chest, heavily bleeding wound. He again also stumbles back. Now you're also only facing one more farmer who looks very angry, like holding his axe still, but he's now alone in the doorway facing you, basically.
I just smile at him and wait.
All right, Garrett.
Well, I'm basically going to have to lash out at whoever nearby, I suppose.
Are you going for Horst again?
Yeah, I'll go for horse.
Try to break your way through the door if you wanted to. That would be an option, but there's like 4 or 5 people between you and them.
I think I'm too far away from the door, and
Sorry?
I'm too far away from the door.
I mean, you're about maybe 5 yards or so not super far, but there's a bunch of people in between you and them. That's the problem. It's
Yeah,
not so
I'm
much
practically on the next to grievously wounded.
Anyway, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm surrounded, basically. I'm going to lash out a horse.
All right.
Rolling a simple melee. I'll do everything else by hand. Oh, bloody hell.
That is definitely a hit. A 1 is not a critical, though. Actually, is it? No, it's not. It's not a match.
So I roll fury dice, don't I? I roll d6 plus my damage.
Does not manage to parry. So he brings up his broken chair, but you just cut through it. Yeah, you roll 1d6 plus whatever your damage is on your axe.
And is for fury dice, can it be...
So fury die means if you roll a 6, it explodes and you can continue on.
Okay, so it can explode, is it? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's a 5. That's
right,
a
11.
Good cut, but sadly not quite a 6. Nonetheless, 11. That's quite significant. He's not wearing any armor, so he will go down 2 levels as you smack your axe into his shoulder. Sadly, you don't get him with the blade. He manages to sort of evade the attack partially, but the heft of the axe smacks him in the shoulder quite severely. Ah! He shouts out, like stumbling a bit, holding his shoulder. Kill him! Kill the mutant lover! As he's sort of stumbling back, and the other farmers are closing in on you now. You take 2 hits, Garrett. Do you want to parry one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is the very last time you help villagers. I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm going to try to parry one at least. Still
Okay.
58, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, a man is a parry one.
And the other one is an 8. So you smack into horse. He stumbles back, shouting in your face. You turn. You see a spear coming your way. You chop the spear down. And then you turn to horse with a snarl. And then you feel a sharp pain in your back as the dagger enters you from behind through your ribs and strikes into your lungs. You feel like all the air is pressed out of your lungs at once as they are filled up with blood immediately. You start coughing and you see blood spurting forth onto your hands. You're like wondering where your axe is because you held it in your hand just a moment ago, but then you see it on the ground. You wonder how it got there, and then you see it moving up to you, and then you realize, no, it's not moving, you're moving. And you hit the ground, face first.
Okay.
And nothing. Blackness takes you as you walk through the last gates of Hood, the Lord of Death. Gotrek, you see this happening over the shoulder of your last opponent who smashes into you with your axe. You cannot see any of your allies anymore except for Wanda, who's on the ground. You're not sure if she's dead or not. The axeman misses you, smacks into the side of the gate, basically, with your axe. What do you wish to do?
Are the other ones starting to come towards the door? Like
Yeah, they are now.
I am going to turn and run as fast as I can.
All right. What is your movement?
7.
7. That's not bad. Roll me a d10 and add the 7.
14.
Ooh, not bad. Okay, you are running the hell out of there. It's still light enough. I mean, the sun has started to set, but it's light enough for you to see. You run left or right?
So I knew the right would go back towards the church.
So the left goes to the main square and the sort of entrance to the temple. The right goes somewhere deeper into the village. You're not sure where.
I'm going right.
Okay, so you just run right and you sort of running past buildings. Most of the buildings are deserted because most of the people at the temple, you can hear the shouting and the screaming behind you still, but it starts to die down. I think 3 or 4 farmers are giving chase after you. Stop him! Get him! He's there! Stop him! Kill him! And just chasing you, but you manage to lose them in a short chase that takes a few minutes, and you're now at the palisade. You reach the wall somewhere on the. You're guessing it's somewhere on the north side of the village, but you're not 100% sure. What do you do?
Try to scale the wall.
Okay, yeah, scaling is not an issue.
I'm up.
Yep, you climb it up. There's a ladder not far from you, so you can take that up. And you can see there's one farmer standing there, not like right there, but a couple yards down. And he's looking at you and he's like, what's going on? There's a whole bunch of shouting back there.
There's been a fight. I don't know what's going on. I think it was those northern men. They just started like cutting some people down.
The laborers, those sons of bitches. I knew we shouldn't have trusted them. Shit, do they need my help?
Yes, please gather who you can and make your way that way.
Give me a guile check.
Check my guile.
With a plus 20, I'd say, because of the shoulder shouting and everything, and this guy's prejudiced against the people that you're accusing.
Yep, I rolled a 3. I succeed.
Okay, so he's like, all right. And he starts climbing down, clutching his spear in one hand, climbing down the ladder, leaving you alone in the palisade.
And I'm going to try to get over the wall and as far away from that city as I can.
All right, so leaping down or climbing down? What is your preferred?
If there's like a ladder or safe way that I could climb down, I would.
Well, I mean, there's no ladder leading out.
Okay, I'll try to scale the wall, if I can find any holds and handholds or anything.
In that case, roll me a athletics check, please.
All right, check my athletics. Succeed.
Okay. You are down on the side of the wall, on the north side of the village. You can hear the shouts still in distance. No more screams now of pain or anything, just shoutings. They seem to be organizing a hunt or something for you, you're guessing. But luckily, you're outside, and you're staring to the north side at the forest. and you can see there's shapes moving there on the edge of the forest. There's someone or something is there. But you're too far away. You're about 300 yards or so away. You're not quite sure who that could be.
I'm gonna go like away from the shapes moving towards and try to get into a part of the forest that might look empty where I don't see any shapes.
So the forest is only to the north of the village. To the west is where the road to Swansea is, where you came from. To the east is just like fields and then a couple of hills. That's the two directions. Or you could try to circle around the village, I guess, and get south.
I'm going to head towards the hills.
All right, so just straight east. Okay. And with that, Garrett loses himself in the hills a few hours later, just as night falls, and spends a few days in the wilderness and might or might not survive this dangerous journey alone. Behind him, Wanda and Ruprecht/Astrid awake in a cold, damp cellar, bound and severely injured, and they are woken by screams and shouts. And from that cellar, you listen to the attack. You hear deep orcish voices and goblin tongues. Shouting. You can't really understand the words as they are muffled through the walls, but you can hear the screams of pain and fear and death. And you realize that the village is being destroyed. You can hear, after that, a sound that you do not like at all, the burning, the leaping and singing of flames, and large crackling sounds, buildings breaking and falling. And then you hear thumping and screams overhead, battle sounds, and what you think is Maximilian Steiger's voice shouting something, and a woman's voice answering. And then more screams, many more screams. And then the door opens, footsteps on the staircase, and two orcs run in. They look around. And you see they looking at the chests and the barrels and such. You reckon you must be in the basement of the inn of the cowardly orcs. Now these orcs do not look cowardly at all. They are bloodied, and there's a shine of triumph and of hunger in their eyes. The weapons they are clutching look primitive and crude, but nasty, spattered with blood and gore and pieces of brain and bone. One of them starts rummaging for food. The other one sees you in a corner and comes towards you. What do you do?
Bring us to your mistress.
Bring us to Johanna, yeah.
Okay.
She will want to speak with us. Do not bring us harm. You'll regret it.
Okay, so because Rupert, you spoke up first. However, Astrid, you're not Astrid. Wanda, you are assisting her, which means you can make an assisted check. Rupert, you are rolling. This will be a charm check. However, you can re-roll the first digits. So if you roll like a 45, you can re-roll the 4 because of the support that Wanda gives you. And she has mentioned a name that the orc knows. You can see his eyes widen a bit at the sound of that name.
Well, I can't get much better than a 1.
All right. The orc looks at you hesitantly, and he says, "Women, they want to speak to the mother." To the other one. The other one looks up. We better bring them up then. Mother will know best what to do.
Mother knows best.
They look at you, and you can see a weirdly empty expression for a moment in their eyes as you say that, and they both nod and both say, "Mother knows best." And then they grab you. That hurts because they're not carrying you gently. They're dragging you with you, and you're heavily injured. And they drag you up, and you can see the building around you is already starting to burn. And you are pushed out of the building into the central square, and you can see there's bodies everywhere, people cut down as they were trying to run, buildings aflame, buildings already falling. Maximilian's large house is being burnt. It's burning like a Christmas tree. And there's kobolds and orcs everywhere. There's small groups of people, women and children, cowering together. You catch a sight of Helena sort of hunched over as she was in pain. Her beautiful hair, blood spattered. And you see Johanna standing there in the center of all this. A couple of orcs around her. And you see Katerina moving through with a bloody knife. She's not paying attention to you at all and disappears amongst the burning buildings. And for a moment, you hear like a sizzle, like a lightning sound coming from that direction and a flash of blue light. And then Johanna turns to you. You can see she's pale, but she's also determined, and there's a fire, a hungry, horrible fire in her eyes. You have broken our deal. What happened to you?
We tried. We did our best. Maximilian was too good a liar. He had the rest of the town eating out of his hands. Nothing we said look at us.
She looks down to the left, and you can see there's like a pile of rags or something on the ground. And then as you look at that pile, you realize it's not rags at all. This is what remains of Maximilian. He's been torn to shreds. There's batches of like open flesh where the skin has been ripped away. There's broken bones sticking out. And the worst of it is you can see a hand that's still twitching. He's somehow, through all this, still alive.
I see he got what he deserves.
I reverently say, Mother, now your revenge is complete, and our friends are dead, and we must find them and give them peace. All we ask is that you let us go our way with their bodies.
You have broken our pact. Why should I let you leave?
We did not break the pact. We were unable to fulfill it. There's a difference. We almost died trying to honor our pact.
Our friend is dead. Astrid is quite heartbroken. She's teary-eyed and sobbing.
Give me a charm check.
But determined. She's very determined.
A plus 20, Wanda, for a charm check. Close. Is that a success?
55 plus 20, 75, yeah.
Nice. Okay. She gives you a look and says, yes, my dear, this is an evil world, a world of men. They break us and discard us as they please. But sometimes we get our revenge. She gives a slight kick into the rag of broken bones and flesh that Maximilian is. He gives a whimper. You can go, my dear. I hope our paths never cross again. Look around as you leave and learn that even our kind sometimes can get justice in this world. Go.
Thank you.
Can we find our friend?
I did not say that you can go. You are not one of us, whatever your name is. You are one of them, she points at Maximilian. You're one of those who break us and use us like cattle. You will not leave. She looks at the two orcs at her side. They both stand up slowly and come towards you. Regret.
Mother, she is one of our kind. She was treated so badly that she had to hide and disguise as a boy.
What?
Show her, Astrid.
So,
The orcs both stop, already like raising their big, lumpy hands to grab you. Stop. Mother.
it's true, Mother. I am not who I've said I've been. And I draw open my clothing and reveal myself as my true gender.
Okay, she looks at you and nods. I see. Forgive me, child. That is a clever disguise. I know what you mean. It is their world. There are many ways we can take it back. One of them is the one you chose, I suppose. Now, you have two choices. Both of you. I can let you go. You can go back to their world and try to survive as you are, beaten and bloodied and broken. Maybe you will survive the path to Swansea, maybe not. Or you can stay with me. You can see what I have achieved. I have taken revenge. But this is just the beginning. These orcs, these mutants, they obey me and my daughter. And they could come to obey you as well if you stay faithful to me. That is the two paths in front of you. Which do you choose?
I respect what you have achieved, madam. I truly do. But I feel that we have to seek our own path to extract our vengeance for Astrid here.
Astrid, what is it you say?
My path leads elsewhere with my friends. Though one of us passed on, we shall continue with our journey. I can't stay in one place. There are those who seek me.
They will not find you here. You are protected. Any that come against us will die.
Yet I'm a free spirit, and I must go on.
As you wish. Good luck on your paths, my sisters, my children. May the Great Mother watch over you.
And over you.
And she turns away from you. The orcs sort of gazing at you malevolently, one of them licking his lips. But none of them is attacking.
Let's get out of here, Astrid.
We gotta bury our friend. We gotta take him with us.
I think the longer we stay here, the more chance they will turn against us after all.
Is the church still standing, or is it burnt down?
It's burning pretty heavily.
I go. We must take something from him, and I run at the church where he died.
Okay. The door is open. The interior is burning. There's bits and pieces of wood falling off.
I dart in and look around to see where he roughly fell.
Injured.
All right.
And you can see there are a few dead bodies in here. Give me an awareness check, but -20. $13. You look around, and you do actually see, not in the temple, but outside, just thrown out into an alley, basically, what you discover to be the body of Garrett.
I run over. Is he truly dead? Like I listen at his chest and stuff. And
yes, he's most definitely dead.
Damn it!
The only body in this side alley.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I start cursing. I'm not big enough to carry him.
As you are looking down on him, you hear a sound. You look up and see a trio of kobolds coming towards you. One of them is dragging what looks to be a young boy behind, maybe 7 or 8 years old. The boy is most definitely dead, and it looks like they cut out pieces out of him, maybe for eating or other unsavory purposes. They're dragging him behind like a piece of venison, basically. And they have spotted you. And one of them is pointing at you and says, "Brothers, look what I found." And the one of them stays with the body. The other two are drawing large hooked daggers and are coming your way with wide grins.
I run into the church, the burning church.
The burning, okay.
Unless it's going to cause me damage, but I mean, if it's just smoky and smoldering.
Collapse at any moment. It's burning. The roof looks not very stable.
Well, I don't want to be raped by kobolds, so.
Okay, so you run into the church. They hesitate at this entrance, look up, the fire. Crazy. And they just stand there. "Come to us. Come, we'll help."
I get low. Below the smoke, hopefully, so I can see further and look the other way out.
Give me a toughness check. It is a lot of smoke in here, and you're coughing. You're heavily injured.
Toughness as a thing. I have determination, courteous
yeah.
mind. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Damn it. Sorry, I'm just having trouble finding it suddenly. It's under brawn? No.
Brawn, yes.
Yes. Okay, yes, it is. Thought so. And
22. Critical success. You manage to push your way through to the other side where the other entryways, as you recall, like coughing, but despite all the injuries and everything, you somehow manage to get out. And you're lucky the other third, the kobold, is gone with the body of the boy. You manage to find your way out, and you find your way back to Wanda, who's sort of standing maybe 20, 30 yards away. He's been watching this with horror, this whole thing.
I had to make sure he is dead. He's gone.
Oh.
I found the body.
It's very brave of you.
Yeah, Astrid is now completely blackened. There's like soot all over her clothing and everywhere.
Let's get out of here.
I agree. Let's go.
Nothing left for us here.
All right. With those words, the two women, beaten, bloodied but not broken, stumble over the inner courtyard, dodging a few patrols, leaving the villagers to their fate, stumbling out of burning and falling Vorberg, and make their way towards the west, towards Swansea, as flames roar into the night behind them. And that is the end of our story. 3 people, 2 of them severely injured. 1 hero paid with his life. And a whole lot of blood. It is a bitter harvest indeed. A very bitter one. And everything else, well, is a story for another time, as our campaign comes to a pretty dark end. But this is ZWEIHÄNDER after all, dark fantasy. No one promised you a fairy tale with a happy ever after. Nonetheless, Trumas Games says to my players, thank you for playing. I hope you had fun despite the dark ending, or maybe because of it. And to all of you guys, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this game, you'll have plenty more on this channel. There'll be a subscribe button somewhere up here. And until we see each other again, happy gaming. Good luck with your own characters, and bye-bye.